Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Spawncast, episode 226. We have a bunch of things to go over here tonight. Miss Click is actually out for the night. She is doing some Legend of Zelda stuff. So check that out. I know she was posting about it on Twitter as well. So make sure you check that out. Some Skyward Sword stuff going on over there. But we have some things to go over here tonight because we had some info drop about the PlayStation 5 SSD's upgrade. Horizon Forbidden West, a report came out yesterday saying it's actually going to miss the holiday, which I'm sure MVG wants to do a victory lap on calling that one. And then some of us did get a chance to play Halo Infinite actually over the last few days. So we'll be talking about that as well. Let me go around here. Let's see. We'll start with Nate. Okay, good. He's there.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Nate, good to have you on tonight.
Always a joy to be on here while watching the Yankees play while my neighbor's letting off fireworks. And
what?
I got fucking fireworks and I was just outside having a cigarette and I'm hearing fireworks. I'm like, what the hell is going on?
Why?
I don't know.
Because they bought them for the 4th of July back in June. Apparently they haven't used them all yet. So every Saturday at about 9:15, they start to light them off again. So any minute now we should hear a big cannon blast.
Why?
America.
All right.
It's very annoying because they also do it at like 2:30 in the morning. They just do one obnoxious loud one.
Just one.
It's like, are you kidding me? But yeah, that's what this one jackass does.
Okay. Then we got OJ Player Essence. How's it going, OJ?
What's up, man? Just got back from my PS5 SSD degree. I'm ready to go, and I'm ready to learn how to do this and install everything. It didn't take that long. It didn't take that long. Only about a week.
Quick. It's online course? No, you got to go in person.
Online course, yeah. Okay. Online course. I got the hookup, so I'm ready to go, because people actually thought that when I said that you needed a degree, people actually felt that I met that. So, look, I proved it. I got it done. You guys can do it too.
There you go. We got Sean, RG85. Good to have Sean here.
Good to be here.
Let's see. And then we got MVG, Modern Vintage Gamer.
What's going on? Great to be here.
We got Evan. Evan's gonna be keeping an eye on things. How we doing over there, Evan? We got a lot of Discord questions tonight.
An okay amount.
Okay. All right. Very good. Then we got Jordan Fringe. Jordan just recently hit 100,000 subscribers. So congratulations to Jordan on that accomplishment.
I appreciate it. I celebrated by traveling all around the world the past few days. Specifically, I went to Dubai. I was, I went to Egypt. Flight Simulator is a fantastic game that is very slept on. So,
enjoy Flight Simulator over there. Okay,
it is. Okay. It is the most technologically impressive game I've ever seen.
I love that game.
You said game.
Sorry, simulator.
Well, yeah, exactly. It's a game.
Like that's one of the arguments. It's not a game. I'm like, it's been a game probably longer than a lot of people have been alive. So.
It's think of Pilot Wings in 2021. That's what the game. That's what it's all about. Because you got like landing,
jumping out planes and Pilot Wings.
Yeah, Pilot Wings is silly.
What you talking about? That is not.
I saw somebody put a plane in a barn. That was pretty silly.
Yeah, but you got
it's just the dude just like
you got squirrel suits.
There's no pilot wings.
Come on, pilot wings. You got squirrel suits. You're diving into volcanoes and you're hovering just above magma. You can't do that.
But I have the entire world to fly around.
You can do all that. You have to use your imagination and know how to.
We don't all fly. We deactivate everything. I'm flying through Vegas and I'm clipping the buildings and spinning out.
I was flying down Las Vegas Boulevard like earlier.
I saw those wings clip and there was no
contact. There was no contact on any of those buildings.
So yeah,
all bullshit.
I'm playing it for the first time. I felt bad for slandering that game. Now that I'm playing it, so is there not collision? Do I have to turn on? I tried to, not reenacting any horrible events or anything, but I tried to crash into some buildings in New York and it wouldn't let me. It just kept flying through. Do I have to turn on a switch or something?
Not trying to reenact anything, but specifically New York. Jesus.
I
think it's very mellow. I play
Flight Simulator back in the day with the Windows XP, like Flight Simulator.
There is a curated level. There is a curated level of difficulty to suit your experience level. If you want to turn off damage, you can. I think by default it is disabled. But you can turn everything off and try to fly a plane like a real pilot would.
Yeah, there's a lot of assistance tools and stuff that the game has activated, so you're not overwhelmed simply by the amount of mechanics that the game throws at you.
Can you play it for the Xbox version? Can you play it with a mouse and keyboard? Like, can you hook that up for it? Because the menu system is very much built for that. Yeah. I mean, it is very much awful on the Xbox. You can see
the mouse icon like for a split second before it turns into the circle thing. Yeah. I think you can connect the mouse and keyboard up, but I haven't actually tried doing that. I
mean, you got to give it a shout out. It's one of the best rated games of the year.
92 on Metacritic. Let's go.
92 on Metacritic. Yeah.
Game of the year.
Well, it's not. It's still not as good as the best rated game of the year. It's the House in Morgana.
Oh yeah, the Switch version.
Yeah, that is the number one. 98.
Yeah, but those only have like 8 reviews.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't care. I better see it as it better be the number one choice at the Game Awards the end of the year.
That game is not getting recommended for the Game Awards.
There's also that in the Disco Elysium Final Cut. Other than that, yeah, Flight Simulator is the best rated game of the year.
These reviewers, what's going on? They drinking a little bit this year, bro.
I mean, they're not much to play.
No, they're missing. That's called swinging a miss. There's a lot of good games. They just missing on these.
I do want to say It Takes Two is up there as well. That's right below Mass Effect Legendary Edition. That could actually find its way into the conversations.
That's in my top 5 for the year for sure. That game blew me away. It's so good.
Mass Effect Legendary Edition should be the top rated game of the year, bro. That is the most incredible thing that's ever happened so far this year. Is that game for $60? People want to talk about value, but
it's been on sale recently for $45.
Yeah, $45. But that game, like Mass Effect 3, is so good. I beat it, got everything. Oh my god, that game is amazing. I don't care.
Then we got Max Dreamcast guy.
Hey, happy to be back. Also, so I was at a convention last week. Had so many people coming up, talking to me, and saying they love the Spawncast. So hi to everybody. Thanks to all the live audience I got to meet live.
Yep, we might have an announcement coming up here in the future for a convention for the Spawncast as well. So
I was watching wrestling last Saturday. That's why I missed the show.
Okay, yeah, it's because you paid for it, so you wanted to watch it on your TV.
Yeah.
You got a good match. Dude,
that whole fucking pay-per-view was bonkers. It was great. Well worth my $14 or $13.
Well, I'm glad. We're going to start with a Discord question, Evan.
Do you guys have any Holy Grail games that you want to buy but just can't justify the price?
Cubivore.
I'd say
Pokemon Box, that one. Pokemon Box.
Rule of Rose on PS2 or what is it? How's it pronounced? Kuon. I saw somebody buy a copy of Kuon at the convention last weekend for $700.
I have Rule of Rose, but I do not have Kuon. That's one that I would like as well.
A retro store near me actually has a complete inbox copy of Kuon. I think he's selling it for $600.
God damn, I want to play those games, but I don't want to pay more than $300 for any game ever.
Because Cubivore I could play, and it's from Atlas on the GameCube, but like Pokemon Box I would never use, and it's like $1,000 for some reason.
I don't think I have one anymore.
No,
I mean,
it would have been some Saturn stuff, but you got that kind of wrapped up, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, you started buying WWE toys. I mean, I'm pretty sure you got everything.
It has to be a Holy Grail.
Oh, Christ.
So
there's 99 Hasbro figures. I'm currently at 70, but the problem is like all of the Series 11 ones, they didn't release many of them, and they're all like a couple $100 a piece, and there's like 8 of them, I think. So I'm waiting to buy those. I'm really just getting all the like cheap ones that I didn't realize I didn't have, because I actually made like a Google spreadsheet for this so that I don't duplicate buy stuff. Like the British Bulldog, I didn't have him, but he was only like $11, so that wasn't bad. But yeah, there are some heavy, and then there's mail away ones that were only available through like mailing shit in that go for like thousands of dollars. I probably won't even mess with those because there's only 3. And 2 of them, there's an Undertaker and a Bret Hart. They look pretty much the same as their Series 8 figures, but there's a Hulk Hogan one that has a specific attire that was only done for the mail away. It's a really weird attire too. He's just like wearing like a red tank top and red pants. So it's kind of bizarre looking, but yeah,
I guess attire for Hulk Hogan. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, red's not really. See,
it's got a big swath
because you got to look at Hulk Hogan and then Terry Bollea.
It's a joke.
I know. I'm just saying. Some people might not think you're joking.
That's true. That's true. But he is racist though. But that's true.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Do you want to go into Halo Infinite here? I know Max played it. I played it. Nate played it. Yes. There's a Halo Insider program that they did, and they're wrapping it up. I think tomorrow or Monday's the last day, and they've been slowly rolling out content. They just had a new map go live, like legitimately right before we went live here on the podcast. But we've played it for a couple days now. So what do we think right now, Max and Nate, about Halo Infinite? It's a small slice. It's us against bots, basically. We haven't done any PvP technically yet, but we at least have a early feel for things like the weapons, the levels, mechanics, all of this.
I think everything looks and plays good. I mean, to me, the thing that kind of struck me the most is we've all played a bunch of classic Halo. In fact, you and I have even played a bunch of Halo 2 and 3 a bunch, John, and it feels like a Halo game, and I mean that in the best way possible, which is that 4 and 5 less so to me. They felt a little bit too fast and twitch shootery. This feels like that slow, methodical, heavy guns again. It does have that sprint, but it feels heavy again.
Yeah, it's a little faster than it's not as fast as Halo 5. Like Halo 5, I think people didn't like that one because 343 clearly reacted to Call of Duty, and they were like, let's make Halo Call of Duty. And like people who like Call of Duty liked it, but like a lot of older Halo fans were just like, I'll just play Master Chief Collection. Unfortunately, that was broken for a long time, but it got better. And now Master Chief Collection is like one of the best games you can download on your Xbox or on your PC right now. Like there's so much content and stuff to do in that, and they keep updating it. So if you start up Halo Infinite right now and you go into the options menu, it's like they carried most of that stuff over and then built on it. So like, if you go in and want to change your sensitivity, they have a sensitivity for all the different axes. They have dead zone, like calibrate. They have all this stuff just for that. So like the accessibility options, the customization, the settings around your controller, you can seriously remap your controller however you want. There's so much there in order to just kind of set it up how you want to play. And a lot of that came from them kind of evolving through the Master Chief Collection. So I was happy to see a lot of that they learned there carry over. But the game itself, you're right, it's fast, but it's not too fast, and it still has that heavy feel from like Halo. Let's say like Halo 2.
Yeah, Halo 2, yeah. Especially the needler. Some of that stuff, that guns feel more accurate than they were in some of the games. If you're aiming mid-screen
too, like they're loud, they punch. It's a good feeling when you're kind of firing off these shots with these different weapons.
When you reload, your guy like slams the bullets in, and it makes like a I don't know. It's got that heaviness.
Yep. So far with like the presentation and what they're trying to get at here, it's good. It still feels like old modernized Halo is what I'll say, which is what they had to do.
It feels like a love letter to Halo 3.
Yeah. Yes. It still has vaulting. It still has sprint. But it's at this point, I would expect both of those to be in there. Otherwise, people would see it as like an archaic kind of shooter.
Yeah. Like one thing that I understand why it's implemented the way it is the grapple shot, but I wish instead of just 3 uses, it had a percentage similar to like the gravity hammer, because I don't think it's fair that if I want to grapple across, if I want to grapple to a player or even a weapon, that it should be an equivalent use. Like a weapon, let's say it's 15%. Just to grapple to another platform, make it 10%. To a player, it's 25%. Just to add a little more variety and a risk and reward type element to the grapple shot, making it equal in just 3 uses, I don't want to say it underwhelms the mechanic, but you now you have to really pick and choose how you want to use it. And there's so many ways you can use it in exciting types of, ways. And I hate that it's just an equivalent exchange for all uses. And I understand why, because it could very quickly become overpowered, even though it is only on the map.
Yeah.
Well,
I think where it would become overpowered is during objective-based games. So like capture a flag or plant, because like some in like previous Halo games, like there'd be plant the bomb and it'd be inside a base, but there are ways to get into the base from a top or below. If you have the grapple hook and you can like hold the bomb and grapple up to the top and just drop in, I mean, you just bypass having to go through people then. So then it would become kind of overpowered, I would say, at that time, or just getting to the top of the base to grab the flag and then jump off. Those are things that would probably need balancing.
Well, that could
even be a thing. Like, say if it isn't capture the flag, if you go on the flag and they did like a percentage-based thing, that's 100%. Now it's gone. You still don't have the 2 more uses after it. So that's where you could have that implemented in unique ways where there are certain ways that weigh more than others with the grapple shot, instead of just limiting it to 3 uses overall.
Well, and so I agree with you, Nate, because also it makes me think of when the power boosters and stuff from Halo 3, where you could drop the jump jet pad and people would use that for shortcuts to pop into bases, but it's very situational. It'd be kind of cool if the grapple hook could be used and snapped offensively.
Yeah, I like the equipment that they have right now. The one that's like the half bubble shield thing.
Yeah.
You deploy it. It takes a minute to deploy, but it's kind of cool, and you can carry around several of them at once. So you can just start throwing them everywhere, and you can get some good like distance when you throw them. Like it doesn't just drop in front of you. You can chuck it kind of far. Which is cool. And I think so far my favorite, I guess, newer gun is that skewer, the harpoon looking thing.
Yes, I love that thing. It's not. I suck with it. I'll tell you, I suck with it. But when you connect, it just like they disintegrate. I love it.
It feels real good when it hits them. You're like, yeah, that was good. And it reminds me of that. What was that, like the steel spike gun from Fear back in the day? It kind of reminds me of that.
The pen. It was some string of numbers and letters.
I know this isn't going to be like an M-rated game. Like, I don't think for multiplayer, they'll probably separate that and make it teen or something. But I would love to hit them with a skewer, like in Fear, where they'd be hanging off of the wall. And
I used to call it like crucifying people.
Yeah,
that's so good. I love that.
Well, it was very satisfying.
It makes me want blood spray a little bit, because when you land a great grenade in a group of those bots or skewer somebody, I wish that there was a little bit of blood spray like Halo 1, but it ain't coming back.
Yeah, so we're playing against bots right now, and it's sort of funny because I assume we're doing most of this with bots, mostly because we can find a match very quickly. Basically, once 4 of us connect in a group, you just launch because the bots are ready to go. But 2, I assume they're trying to train and see how their bots react, basically, to human players. So I almost feel like they're doing like this machine learning stuff and they'll continue to evolve over time and become like pro play. Like you can get to a point where maybe if you want to play by yourself with bots, you can hit a setting and be like, I want to play against pro Halo players.
That brings back like that perfect dark feel where you had, what was it, the perfect bot. You had all those different degrees of difficulty at Ultimate. Because right now we are playing on pretty much, I guess, what they are considering the easy.
Well, they had easy. Like now they're up to ODST, right? Now it's normal, basically. And then I think tomorrow they're going to go up to, I guess, hard mode. But the bots, sometimes it's weird with the bots right now. They have these flashes of like incredible, like brilliance. Like they turn into like they turn into the enemies you'd fight in Call of Duty 2 on the hardest difficulty, where they just throw a grenade in the air and it lands at your feet no matter what. In the they turn into that sometimes, and other times I'll turn a corner and they're just firing their gun into the air at nothing.
Yeah, but then sometimes you'll be shooting at them. All of a sudden, they're crouching, they're moving sideways. It's like, wow, these guys are actually pulling off some pretty impressive maneuvers. But at the same time, I once just stopped playing. I went to go get a drink. I come back, and the bot is shooting me, doesn't kill me, and he just runs away.
Well,
cool, thanks.
So my theory is that they haven't fully balanced the gun damage and they don't know how to. So my theory is that they wanted to make it where we're all shooting a bunch of bots so they could actually get more blanket data of, okay, how bad is the cone of fire on this? How many people are getting headshots? How much do we got to tweak this? Because right now the guns don't feel balanced. I feel like some stuff feels a lot stronger. Like battle rifle right now, in my opinion, feels really weak. Assault rifle feels a little bit too strong. So I think that if you're fighting bots, it feels fun when stuff's broken. Against other players, it can be frustrating.
Yeah, I could see that. And also the bots, they can snipe with a grenade like gods.
They can. They'll roll it to you.
They bounce it right off the ground and blow it up in your face. I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah,
you're not that good.
I'm curious how they're going to be tomorrow, though, if that's when it goes hard mode. But so far, minus like they have some graph glitches, some audio glitches and stuff they have to deal with. But it's tech preview, and they said, hey, that's probably going to happen. I mean, when you sign in, there's a message. It's like, hey, this game's kind of broken. So, good luck.
Overall, I'd say 343's, they're starting on a good path with this multiplayer. Yeah. I think like you're playing it, it's smooth, it's fluid, it's fun. It's just a joy to play even against these bots. And yeah, we only have 2 maps. We only have a handful of weapons, but right now it feels quality. Like there's really no major gripes that they can't address, be it like the weapon balancing and stuff like that. But this is a really good introduction, I feel.
Yeah, and it's gonna be free to play when it drops. I assume in a couple of months here. I mean, now we've played that. What do we think this game's dropping?
November the 23rd.
Whoa, yeah, hold on a minute.
That's very specific.
Yeah, it's no strict gamist over here. He's making more gaming predictions for us. No, I think sometime in November. I just feel like this needs another 3 or 4 months.
When's Horizon 5 out?
That's in May
12th.
Forza Horizon.
Yeah. So there's a couple. I know there's 2 different dates because you can pay to get in early or something. The Game Pass.
I hate shit like that.
Yeah, really. The Game Pass day, I guess, whenever it drops on Game Pass.
Is it the 12th?
I thought it was the second week in November. So I guess technically it could drop on the 23rd. MVG.
I got the 23rd. Let's go.
Okay.
We make it a betting pool.
I wanted them to get it out in October.
It seems that's what Rand is also saying, November 23rd.
Is that right?
Interesting.
Yes.
Interesting.
There you
All
go.
right, to good old Rand.
I'll say, yeah, I guess the 23rd would be good. I'll say the 19th. I'll say Friday the 19th, right before.
Oh, okay.
I still want to see if they drop the multiplayer beforehand. If we get the multiplayer like a month earlier,
They're gonna release Horizon 5 and then Halo in the same month. Huh.
Only a week and 2 weeks apart. But see, the 23rd, the only thing I'd say that is going against it is, when is Thanksgiving? Is Black Friday the 23rd?
No, that's no. Tuesday's the 23rd.
Tuesday's the 23rd. Black Friday
the
would be the 20.
Yes.
Yeah, this 26th.
Thanksgiving's the 25th.
So as long as you get ahead of that, okay, I could see the 23rd working in that way then.
That's the only reason I didn't want the 23rd, because it's like that week is pretty.
But I mean, the thing they're really going to push is the is the multiplayer. It's gonna be free. So to them, it's like, whatever. Whatever.
That's fair. Yeah, I mean that'd be good for
the campaign will be great too, because that was dropping the Game Pass and we'll just download it and play it. But
co-op,
the multiplayer is going to be fun. So
I do have more faith that we're actually getting that campaign at the same time now.
Yeah, because it leaked out from the file.
Yeah, now that we've seen it.
That's the only way I have faith. I'm like, okay, well, if you're saying that it's getting leaked, well, then it has to be.
Why did they draw attention to that?
You know what I would do?
I had no idea about that.
You know what I would do if I was them? See, Evans, you're saying you didn't know about that until Joseph tweeted it out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is what you're saying? Yep. If I was them, based on things that keep happening and what happened with Last of Us, I would put files that just completely mislead people as to what happens. And I'd be like, oh, they leaked. Be careful out there.
That reminds me. So I looked at every single thing that ever leaked for Resident Evil Village. I saw all of it. And there was stuff that leaked that wasn't in the game. There were some extra cutscenes that are not in the game that are fully animated that just didn't make the game for some reason. So it'd be funny if some of the leaks are like not in the final game.
Master
That's
Chief
what I would do.
Taken out by a golf club around.
Oh no!
Damn, man.
Can't wait for that. It's gonna be a good day on the internet, right?
Jack and Daxter swing past or something just to break everybody's brains.
That's what I would do, though. I would put some stuff in, some red herrings in there, and pretend like they leaked.
I'd put a 3D asset of a Nintendo Switch in there.
All the videos of like Xbox buys Nintendo, red circle question mark.
You know, I'm surprised they didn't do maybe that still comes out and people are like, this could be going to the Switch. Because if it's going to be on Steam, right? They would have button inputs in there for the Switch Pro controller, because that's one of the supported buttons for the Steam. That would be funny if that came out, because people would probably look at that as like it coming to the Switch.
I'm ready for it.
Yeah. You know what? Good start so far. 343 is surprising me right now. It's been kind of a rough time for 343 with Halo. They've been able to match up to Bungie and what they've done. So here's hoping Infinite can do that. So November 23rd apparently is when people are thinking it's going to come out. So we'll look forward to that. That's that's still 4 months away almost. Wow.
It'll be here sooner than you know it, though.
Yeah. Still feels like it's a while away, because now I've played the game. Now I just want the game. Although I think they'll probably do more flights. So.
I honestly, I've said this a couple months ago. I think they're going to keep doing flights and betas and stuff all the way up to launch. I think they're going to keep us playing it.
Let's get the big team battle flight happening here. Let's get the 32 people on a map and just let chaos happen. Let's do that.
There'll be another flight in the fall.
Yeah, because we didn't even get to use vehicles.
Yeah, that was the biggest thing. I wanted to try the Ghost or the Banshee or bring back the Mammoth or something.
And then we got to get other people in too. Like MG, you got to get in. Got to get Sean in.
Yeah, I'm going to
get everybody in. And we just do like this big convoy of the Spawncast just rolling down the hill and then we get blown up.
You know what's funny though is I never got an email for the flight. I just went into the Xbox Insider Hub. I went to the previews. And it was just there. I clicked on it. Also, then it said pending, and I downloaded it. So I wonder how many people, how many people are Xbox Insiders with that hub, and probably have access to the beta right now and just never check.
I think that's all you have to do. Like I think if anybody just installs the Insider app on their Xbox, you can just download.
I would have tried it out.
I mean, it's still going. Like it's going to go for another, I think, 48 hours almost. I think.
36. I can try it out tomorrow then, maybe.
Yeah, if you just want to try it and see how it looks and what you think of it,
yeah, I'll try it out.
Do the squad cast.
It was a small download too. It was like 11 or 12 gigabytes for the thing.
Was it?
So.
I thought it was like 22.
Was it? I know it updated again, so maybe it's larger now.
It updated today. I think it was another 10 gigabytes.
Oh, okay, got it. But yeah, if anyone has it, you might as well check the Insider app and see if you have it or not. Worth checking anyway. Evan, we have Discord question over
What
there.
is your go-to gaming snack / meal / beverage?
Oh,
water.
Good question.
Zevia.
I have
kombucha.
I have cherry. I have cherry Coke Zero.
I love my bang,
Nate. What's so funny about kombucha?
That's just a great answer. It's so unexpected.
It's just fermented tea, man.
Huge fan of Diet Orange Sunkiss.
And, that's good too.
Yeah, Diet Orange Sunkiss and Gatorade Zero. And I just got on those Smart Pops, and those are freaking amazing. So
the popcorn?
Yeah, Smart Pop, the 100-calorie kettle corn. It's really good.
Been eating that for a year.
Yeah, and it's with the Diet Orange Sunkiss, it's makes a good flavor. Good flavor.
Yeah.
Good taste.
I love Sunkist, but orange makes me vomit. I don't know why. If I eat or drink anything orange,
the Diet Orange, the Diet Orange too.
Anything
like
orange.
An actual orange.
Yes. Anything that's orange, I put in my body. I just dump it right back out. I don't know what happens.
Orange wedges were the ish back in. Oh man, no orange wedges for Dreamcast. That sucks.
Nope. I can put them in. They just come right back out.
Oh man.
At least you tried.
Yeah, they taste good.
We got another one, Evan.
Did the reports of Returnal crashing and affecting save data hurt the sales figures overall? And do we think if they got it out of there, it would have sold better?
I disagree. What? If there was a save feature, I definitely think it would have done better.
Returnal was going to do what it was going to do.
Yeah,
I disagree.
I think it would. I think the only thing that maybe would have helped sales, and let's be clear, the sales weren't bad considering 10 million PlayStations were sold. Half a million were pretty good, but I think the $70 price tag probably hurt it a little bit. I don't know by how much, but it would have definitely affected it.
I think there were some, like, if it was $50, for example, I feel like it would have sold more copies. I don't know if it would have made more revenue, though, because that's $20 difference.
Yeah.
You're like, it's hard to say there, you know, but I think you're right, MG. I feel like there were people who were like, do I 70?
I don't know.
Nate, for example, did this.
Well, I rented the game, but I think it's a culmination of things. Is that you did have people buy it at launch for $70, which is probably the majority of that 560,000 figure. But what happened is that as people were playing it and they couldn't come to terms with the in-game mechanics, they were likely trading it in. So now if you had a passing curiosity in the game, you weren't buying it new. You were picking up these used copies, which I'm seeing a lot of on Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, GameStop. They are inundated with a lot of used copies. So on top of the $70 price point of just probably the waning interest, we say, I want to try this game, but I'm not going to give $70. You buy it used. Now you play it, you say, oh, I really hate that game. In my case, I rented it. I didn't feel as though the game was worth the $70. I rented it, beat it, enjoyed my time with it. But it probably would have been a game that once I beat it, I would have gone for a trade-in or sold it, on any marketplace I could find. And there's a lot of used copies of that game out there right now. So if I'm Sony, I mean, we've already seen the game discounted. It went on sale in June. So what, 6 weeks after its introduction? So they're probably at the point, if they're already doing those price drops, they're trying to spark some interest in the game because they know that $70 price point is no longer going to move copies. But overall, I think the performance for the game, it's solid. It's probably what it had to do. I'm sure Sony is happy overall with the figures, but I can see why.
Oh, they're a mega hit.
More.
It's a mega hit
for Housemarque. For Housemarque, that's
for Housemarque. Yeah. Their last game flopped. Their last game flopped so hard. This is
I think the game is great, and the fact that 500,000 people plus bought the game, that's actually really impressive for that studio. But yeah, I agree with Nate. Nate said it's a combination. I do think though the difficulty and no save feature absolutely affected some people's ability. I mean, listen, I know we're all core gamers, but there's a lot of people who are scrubs, man. They just want to play easy games. I ran into this head first, man. A lot of people are scrubby. Like, we're core gamers and we like a challenge, but a lot of people don't. And when you don't have that, like Ratchet and Clank, anybody can play that. Anybody can play. You can put on whatever difficulty. People did not pick up this game because of no save. You got to leave your freaking system and save in rest mode.
You see, and it's funny. One of my friends picked up Returnal because he's like, I want this awesome shooter. I don't care about not being able to save which is ironic because he couldn't finish Demon Souls because he was dying and he got fed up with the game. So he buys Returnal, even though I told him exactly how the game was.
He's just getting punished over and over again.
Yeah, he played Returnal for 3 hours and then he traded it in.
Well,
but he bought it brand new for 70. It's like, well, it's only, you're one of the 560,000 in that number, but I mean, I could see some people. I think it was a culmination of just everything. It was the difficulty, no save, price. But
now I'm curious.
At full price.
I wonder what this leads to now, because Sony was obviously happy with it. They were like, well, it was a studio of 80 people who made this, and it sold over 500,000 copies at $70. Let's bring them in. I mean, we'll see their next game 3 or 4 years from now, but like, I wonder if they're going to go in a completely different route that's maybe more set up for mass appeal that Sony can really get behind. So
I don't. That's not Housemarque's. That's not their forte. Returnal is their forte. The thing with Returnal is the gameplay loop is excellent. Nobody has really had any core issues with the gameplay itself. It's just the mechanics around the gameplay.
Yeah.
So that can be addressed. And I mean, they could still patch this game with a Demon Souls type save feature where it's once you start the game up again, that prior save is deleted. And if you die, it's gone. They could have implemented something like that. They chose not to. This could be patched in the future. And if they patch it, maybe you spark new interest and it comes out at $50. Or they're going to do what we're seeing a lot more of with this generation. We're going to get Returnal Director's Cut.
Oh gosh, they can't do that.
Save and extra campaign biomes.
What's the Director's Cut? They just add the save feature?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we get the very clearly missing boss of Biome 4.
Oh, I was gonna say, just like how Ghost of Tsushima, now with Japanese lip syncing, Returnal, now with save files.
Oh man.
Hey man, that might be worth it, dude.
Yeah.
Let's
Returnal's pretty good.
I did want to say on the difficulty note that I saw a big viral tweet the day before that came out. Some journalist who had finished it saying the game was borderline unbeatable. And I think terms like that scare off the mid-tier and the casual tier a lot of like, well, I don't want to pay $70 for a game with taxes and shipping or whatever. That'd be nearly $100 or whatever for a game that's nearly unbeatable. Like, we're down for it. But yeah, I feel like that difficulty probably hurt
that. It's $100 in Europe. So, I mean, it's $100 in Europe. Like, they didn't change the price. It's still 70.
Oh, it's worse in Australia. It's like $125 Australian.
$130 in Australia too. Yeah, man. It's rough out there.
Well, let's transition over here while we're talking about the PlayStation 5 first-party studios, because it does look like, according to reports, Horizon Forbidden West is most likely going to be falling into 2022. And I assume these reports are coming out now. One from Jeff Grubb mentioning it on stream, and then Jason Schreier reporting it at Bloomberg, most likely because Sony is gearing up to put out some sort of event or press release or something kind of saying this, that Horizon is going to be falling into 2022. It sounds like first quarter, so this could be February or March. Like, really, if you step back and look at it, when was this going to come out if they were going to get it out this year?
I mean whenever. The PlayStation 5 schedule is wide open.
But like they would want to try to do some kind of marketing for it ahead of time. Like, they would want to do more than 30 days, I assume.
Well, yeah, but I thought that there was going to be a good run up, and I thought that was going to be the November release. That way they can be like, all right, here's our big Black Friday project.
So if it was coming out in November, let's say it comes out in February, like the first one did, that's what, like a 3-month delay?
Yeah.
I still if that's what it ends up being.
That I'm disappointed. I'll be honest. I understand it. I'm not mad at the studio. I mean, the game needs time. It needs time. But dang, I want to play that game so bad. Sucks we got to wait longer.
I think Sony bullshitted a lot.
I saw your video. Was that yesterday, Sean? You put that video up?
I honestly do. I mean, God of War. Okay, I think we all agree that God of War Ragnarok had no shot at being a 2021 game, but they said it was a 2021 game. Gran Turismo 7 was supposed to be a 2021 game. Horizon Forbidden West was supposed to be a 2021 game. Now your holiday lineup looks like 2 director's cuts, an indie, and a Microsoft game.
A Microsoft game, yeah.
Like, fuck, man. Like that, I've been looking for stuff to play on my PlayStation 5. Like, I'm gonna play Kena. How do you say it?
It's Kena.
Kena,
okay.
yeah.
Kena, okay. I'm gonna play Kena. I probably will play Ghost of Tsushima because I never played it on the PlayStation 4. But I feel like a lot of Sony diehards probably did already play it on the PlayStation 4. So, what happened to the We Believe in console generations and shit like that? Like, I don't know, man. It just looks shitty to me.
I think obviously,
Jordan.
True. You're not wrong.
Yeah, let him know. Let him know, Jordan.
I will be playing it again, just for what they're gonna offer. But with that being said, yeah, I mean, obviously, we know all these games have been affected over the last, year and a half. But I do think a lot of those dates that were given to us were just used as marketing. Like, we know we're not going to hit 2021, but we're going to say that because we want to sell you the console now. We want to sell you, like, even though they are coming out on the previous gen console, they still want to sell you on the hype of the new console. Being like, look at all these new games we're going to have next year, throughout the year. And I mean, a lot of that stuff happens in a bunch of different industries, specifically in the movie industry as well. So it happens.
Does that make it right?
No, I mean, it doesn't make it right. That's marketing. Marketing is never 100% the truth.
I don't believe Sony really went out of their way last year to mislead people with these target dates of 2021 with these games. It's simply that the impacts that COVID had on development weren't fully seen at the time. And
come on,
it's a tough thing to forecast.
They still wanted them out this year if they could.
I disagree because when that presentation happened for the PlayStation 5, we were in like peak COVID times. The world today was very different than when Sony did that presentation. And when Sony did that presentation, you did see. I mean, fuck, you couldn't even like leave your house, and shit in some places. I don't believe that. I don't believe that.
So to give them the biggest benefit of a doubt, the thing I've heard a lot is that a lot of times you're trying to guess a world you haven't finished building yet. They have some core gameplay loops and some like art assets and stuff. And so if they're like, hey, could you have this out in 2021? They're probably like, yeah, sure. So they put it in the trailer. So I feel like they weren't trying to be misleading. It seemed possible, and they're just missing it hardcore. But I don't think they were trying to lie.
I mean, even historically, before all this, the last God of War game, I remember the whole sequence where they kind of knew when they wanted it, and then they did that show together where they were sitting on a couch, and they were like, "Is God of War coming?" And they went, "Not anytime soon." And they were like, "Okay, I guess." And it's just like kept moving it down the line. So.
I mean, I have to say, at least for the one of them, Gran Turismo 7. I mean, that they put PS5 exclusive on the trailer, and they're like, "It's coming 2021." Oh, wait, hold on. Second half of wait a minute. There's a PS4 version now, and it's coming out in 2022.
Yeah, Gran Turismo 7 was probably their more egregious example.
Why they got to do this to Polyphony?
But like when you look at things like Horizon and even God of War, and you can look at tweets from Corey, he seemed quite confident that they could have made 2021 with that game several months ago. The problem is game development is not an exact science. Things go wrong, as developers will tell you. Launching a game is luck. The fact that it doesn't break when you put it in your system, they sit back and have a sigh of relief, say, "Thank God it works." It's held together by band-aids, is how some will describe it. The fact that games function correctly is a miracle.
I mean, I do think they wanted Horizon out this holiday.
I definitely think they did.
They were pushing. They were like, okay, we're gonna do this, and it just wasn't like, if you think about all the things that go into it with the voice recording, like all of a sudden has to be done at home. How do you do the mocap stuff if you can't meet up and do it? And it's like it turned into I think something that just kept getting pushed and pushed and pushed, and then it's like, well, we're not gonna release it at the end of December. So
I mean, it goes even beyond that. It also goes into certification.
What were you saying, Jordan?
That's the biggest tell is when they did that presentation, like a month ago, on Horizon, and showed it off, and it did not end with a release date. Didn't even say 2021, did it? It just ended. They said stick around for more. I think that was the biggest tell of us not getting it this year. If they would have just said 2021, like holiday or any sort of didn't give it a month, but said like holiday, then I would be like, okay, yeah, there's a good chance it has a shot at least making it. But the fact that they didn't, that kind of said, all right, well, now I do think it's going to get pushed more than not. And, well, here we are.
The biggest thing that made me think it was still coming this year, and I was a little bit blinded by hype, but that Alloy crossover event with Fortnite, it really seemed like a marketing deal where they're like, all right, we're trying to get even more people to be talking about this and excited about the character, and there was all this extra art they were releasing, so I was like, all right, this is the beginning of the marketing campaign, and then nothing.
They recently did it with Genshin, too. Like, it's happening, I think, within a couple months for Genshin as well.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
I think for me, probably the reason why it has been pushed, or it's most likely going to get pushed, is because there's 2 SKUs of this game. There's 2 different versions. I think that the PS4 version is probably ready to go, but they can't possibly release that without the PS5 version.
Interesting. Okay, so if there was no PS5, you think the PS4 version probably would have come out fine this holiday? Is what you're thinking?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel pretty confident with that, because I think they would have started development on Forbidden West, maybe 6 months after the last Horizon game on PS4. So I think any delay is really about PlayStation 5 at this time.
I'll admit, when we saw that Breath of the Wild 2 was going into 2022, and they're aiming for it, and then I looked over at Horizon trying to launch on the PS4 and the PS5, and that came out right when the first Breath of the Wild came out. I started like, ooh, NBC might be right about this one.
Words like aiming don't do anything to give me confidence that it's coming out. Like aiming for 2022 doesn't make me think it's coming out in 2022 if you're aiming for 2022.
I would rather them say aiming than just to come out and say 2021 though.
No, I'd rather them just say 2023 at that point.
Or you know what? Just don't say anything at all. Yeah. Don't say anything at all.
Or that, yeah.
But they didn't. They didn't when they showed Horizon. They didn't say anything at all.
They didn't say anything for Horizon. But beforehand, it's been promoted as a 2021.
Well, they put it. They said in there. There was a blog post that went out, and that's when they also confirmed that several games were going to be cross-gen all of a sudden. They said that they were hoping to have it out this holiday. Well, they just couldn't commit to it yet.
And it was their hope. It was the internal discussion to delay Horizon only took place
pretty recently,
months ago. Yeah. It took place right around the time the fiscal year transitioned over. So this was something that they did have hopes for at the start of their current fiscal year, is that they could have this game out by the end of the holiday. And as it's already being reported, is that if they're targeting Q1 of 2022, it means Sony still has hopes it's going to make their fiscal year in terms of new releases. So when it drops in February or March, Sony is still going to benefit from that. And this is likely a decision from the development team of saying, we need those extra 3 months for polish or whatever have you, certification, proper testing. Could they launch this year? Yes. Would it be ill-advised? More than likely. Take the few months, make sure you're releasing at the top quality you can, and bring it out early next year. Sony doesn't need this game this holiday to sell. It is selling on hype alone, and I'd rather give my development teams the time they need to release the best product possible than to have it just to say we had a game in November.
But wasn't a lot of that hype based on the games that were supposed to come out in 2021?
Yeah. Didn't they actually...
It's been what, 8 months? It sold 10 million units on Returnal and Ratchet and Clank.
And saying the hope,
third party. Is do want to play like third-party games?
Is 3 months really going to sway that confidence in the brand?
Call of Duty.
No, it should, but it won't.
It won't.
Only 3 months. I don't get the game in November. I'm going to get it in February.
Ultimately, we don't get the game in November.
It's the whole. It's not just this though. This is just the icing on the cake of all the shit that we've seen.
You just don't like Jim Ryan.
I don't, because he's a fucking liar.
Hey,
and we always try to, and people always try to just fucking
He's always
justify.
in your thumbnails with like that grin and.
people try to justify like what he's been doing and what he's been saying. Don't fucking say something if it's not going to be that way. And I mean, you can just look at his track record. It's been terrible, and it just keeps getting worse and worse.
Look, Jim Ryan is paid to sell PlayStation 5. That man would pee in your mouth for his bonus.
You could say his track record is terrible, but he is responsible for the fastest selling PlayStation hardware right now. Selling 10 million. So I mean, the numbers are going to show that he's the most successful president of PlayStation.
He also turned around the PlayStation 3 in Europe. He's a numbers man. He knows business. He knows how to sell systems. And I don't think this is a case of him coming out and using tricky marketing tactics. It was, what's the development status on our game at this point? Okay, can we get this game out in 2021? By looking at things, yes, we can. All right, that's what we're going to put in our press release. It's the real world. It's a fluid industry. Things change by the minute, and Sony had to evaluate the games and say, hey, we have to announce some delays. With Gran Turismo 7, that was a very fast delay in terms of them coming out in 2021 saying, this game ain't making this year. They were very direct with that early on this portion. With Horizon,
and it's PS4
where in August, they hadn't given us an update outside of late May, where Sean was still saying it was coming out in 2021, mind you. And it makes sense that it's obviously wasn't going to make this year at this point. They weren't going to do a 2-month marketing cycle for their biggest release. But, I mean, again, it's a trivial matter of 2 to 3 month delay. We're going to get a better product in the end.
How is the state of play not considered marketing for Horizon Forbidden West?
Additionally, didn't they accidentally release, what conference was that where they showed like a teaser and it was like the slate that we have upcoming for PlayStation? And
and then they pulled it.
Yeah, they accidentally said also coming in fall, Horizon, and then they ripped the trailer down and re-edited it.
Yeah, they pulled, because they had a bunch of dates on games and they're like, no, let's take that down. That's not when that game's coming out.
They wanted to have the game out this year. You know what probably happened, man? I agree with MVG. They just probably PS4 version, but the PS5 version, there's probably so many bugs in open world games. You guys know how open world, there's probably so many bugs and glitches and crashing. They could probably get out, but look at Returnal. Returnal got delayed and there was still crashing, bugs, and that game's nowhere near the size of,
I mean,
of this game. So, I mean, this is what happens, man. They probably just ran into all sorts of issues in like quality assurance or whatever, you know?
Yeah, the hardware's still relatively new. There's still that learning curve that's going on with developers getting their head around the PlayStation 5. I mean, I would say that's probably what's happened here.
So let's just assume the reports. This is from Jason Schreier, Bloomberg. He doubled down on it. Was like, nah, it's getting delayed. So I assume that means once again Sony's going to announce it here pretty soon, and that's why people are now talking about it, because they either cut up the trailer for it or they have a press release almost ready to go. Could be going live this week for all we know, just pushed out on the PlayStation blog. Do you think when they do that, do they tell us when it's coming out then, or they just say, nope, 2022, that's when it's coming out? Or you think they have a date already in mind?
I think they're going to say spring.
Could go either way, honestly. I mean, they could just commit and say, March or February. But I will say, I mean, if they just say spring, I'd be a little concerned about the dates pushing, being a little more fluid after that, because anything's possible. But I mean, I said last time it was going to come out next year. I think they'll probably commit to a date for next year.
Okay. Yeah, I guess it's far enough out they can wrap around it. So
I would think so.
That does set them up nicely for 2022, though. If you look at everything, because they have a lot of games.
Do they? Maybe. Like, fuck. They said 2021. Now they say 2022. Does that mean it's going to come out in 2022? I'm not so confident.
First half of 2022 on PS5 is going to look really good.
I have a feeling Horizon Forbidden West is going to come out next year. It's going to be great, and I can already picture the RGT85 thumbnail of him doing hands on head, like, it's good.
No, because I've always said that. I've always thought the game was going to be good because they fixed my biggest problem with the game, which was the lack of melee, interesting melee combat. So I think the game's going to be great. I just wanted to play it this year when Sony told me I would be playing it in 2021, and now I have this PlayStation 5 that is kind of collecting dust because I'm not interested in Deathloop. I'm not interested in Death Stranding trying to make it fun edition. I mean, Kena will be fun, and I'm looking forward to Ghost because I've never played it, but
Oh, it still hurts when you say that.
Yeah. I came out at the end of the PlayStation 4's life cycle last summer.
It was so good though.
I put 60 hours. I got the plat on that baby. Ooh, I love it.
Same.
I'm going back to
love it.
You know, you could play is Final Fantasy 14 now with the free trial up to level 60, and the PlayStation 5 version actually is pretty good. They released a PlayStation 5 version specifically.
It is free to play right now on the PS5. There you go. Mm-hmm. You can just play. I mean, if they let's just assume a lot of these games getting pushed. Like, believe it or not, the one I think that has the most chance of being delayed again is Gran Turismo.
Oh, dude, that's not coming out next year. That's not coming out this year.
Oh my god!
No, Ragnarok isn't either.
No way.
I don't know. I think Ragnarok could do it.
I think Ragnarok is a holiday next year game. Yeah, I can see that. But Gran Turismo, no.
Once they said there's a PS4 version involved, it's like, oh gosh, with polyphony.
I think
we're getting Gran Turismo 7 prologue.
They have to have Gran Turismo 7 launch next year. You can't have a PlayStation 4 game releasing in 2023.
They'll find a way.
Yeah, right.
They have to cut all ties with the PlayStation 3 or 4 by 2023. You can't. I mean, I think in Sony's perfect world, they were going to sever those ties with the PlayStation 4 in 2021. And the fact that they are delaying PlayStation 4 games into 2022 is telling that they didn't have control over the situation. And we can even look at games like Ratchet & Clank. That game was supposed to be launch window. It came out 3 months after a launch window is typically considered. So if you apply that exact same time window to a game like Horizon, taking it from November to February, this matches whatever is happening internally due to COVID impacts for delaying their games. I mean, this can be certification, marketing. It can be any number of things that are pushing these games a few months, but it's an industry-wide issue. And this is something that people were very vocal about last year when it came to critiquing Microsoft with their absence of games for the first year of their console. Sony looked to be in a better position. Reality hit them, and they were in a very similar position to Microsoft.
I'm looking at this now and realizing that if God of War is next holiday, there will be a PS4 title released in holiday 2022. That'd be interesting to see. Well, I guess we'll find out hopefully next.
Do you think you'll be able to get a PS5 at that time? Like, just jump on Amazon and pick one up? Or do you still think there'll be a shortage? By next holiday? Yeah.
I mean, there have been talks that chip shortage could last into 2023 now.
Jeez.
So I would like to think we'll have it sorted by then, because Sony is at least producing more PS5s than they did PS4s. But PS4 eventually started ramping up to the point where the PS5 would have to all of a sudden solve their issues to get back ahead of it. And as you say, Jim Ryan is a numbers guy. Jim Ryan did not run the PS4 generation.
Right.
And I don't think he wants to lose to the PS4 generation, because he wasn't in charge then. He's in charge now. So unless they start figuring out some stuff, I don't know how they're going to make that happen. So I don't think so, though. I think we'll still be in this situation now where you don't walk into a store and see them.
I mean, it's even impacting the Amico.
I have the what? No, I have 3 of my real life friends want a PlayStation 5, but have said I'm not going to buy it till I can get one from Target. They don't want to deal with scalpers. They're tired of like watching Twitter accounts with notifications turned on. Like, they got to figure out.
Do we have any evidence PlayStation 5s exist?
Mm-hmm.
Beyond having one in your house, have you ever actually seen one in the wild?
I've never seen one in a store.
Never seen one in a store. I've only seen an Xbox Series S once, and somebody grabbed it.
Yeah, I've got one right here. How dare you mock PlayStation? Look what they've done for you.
That does not look like a very solidly built PlayStation.
How dare you say that about Sony's hard work? My God, it looks like
the Crayola edition of the PS5.
Originally I tried to mimic the color, and it looks like a melting ice cream sandwich.
So we'll see. I guess we'll see. First half of August, maybe we have a state of play or PR or press release, something put out around this. So
they'll probably do a press release only because of the report, but they were likely waiting a little longer for a state of play. So I don't think they're going to rush a state of play just to address this delay.
Right. So, well, we'll see what happens. I guess maybe in the month of August, and then kind of go from there. Evan, we got Discord questions. I'll go over to the super chats.
Were the PS2 and PS3 analog face buttons ever used for any games besides Metal Gear series?
Oh, you mean the pressure sensitive buttons?
God of War, wasn't it? You could hold down God of War to open the chest.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Yeah, you're right, Nate.
Boom.
I feel like there were, because I remember looking on the back of boxes and it would say pressure sensitive buttons. I just Metal Gear is the one that sticks in my mind the most because you put your weapons away that way and all that.
Someone said GT3 and GT4 in chat.
Ooh.
Maybe, I don't know.
Okay. I'll say you can defer to chat for some more examples. I'm sure they'll come up with more of them. Got another Discord question, Evan?
What is your favorite retro game store called?
Favorite retro game store?
I guess at this point it's eBay, right? That's
there's not around here anymore. Like they're all gone.
They're all gone.
There's a great one, famous, nice one here in my part of town called Game Over Video Games in Arlington, and they're really good. They're really knowledgeable. They have all sorts of free game tournaments there. They're really big in the community, and they actually don't rip you off. They're cool.
I pretty much just have to go to conventions now, and we got conventions season coming back up soon, so. That's, I guess, my video game store now. Nate? What's the video game store near you called? I'll let the people know.
I think it's called the Time Capsule.
The Time Capsule. Okay, there you go. Anyone, I guess, out in Rhode Island or wherever you can.
It's actually in Massachusetts.
Massachusetts. There you go. That one. That area. That section. The East Coast. There you
go. New England. Yeah, New England. If you're in New England, you go to the Time Capsule. Too cold.
There you go. You can go to the Time Capsule.
Too cold. Not going.
Let's go over to the super chats. Luxian says, did any of you play Doodle Champion Island Games that was on Google this week? It was fully detailed RPG in honor of the Tokyo Olympics, and I loved every moment of it.
I didn't. Everybody said good things, but I didn't play it.
Oh. I Live for Retro says, anyone ever play Incredible Crisis for the PS1?
I did not.
I have not either. Oh, we're 0 for 2. Let's see. Mug says, I wish Sony could just announce a huge E3 like event already. I don't care if God of War got delayed to 2023. Just show me something, please. Jeffrey says, best podcast out. See, Sean, they can sell it on. Oh, Sean's not here. Okay. Jeffrey says, wait, hold on. He's getting pizza?
Yeah.
Do you think he's going to come back with the pizza cut up, or will it just be one big piece?
God, I hope it's one big slice.
I don't know.
I think it's one. I think it's going to be cut. I think it'll be cut.
It's be cut. Okay.
Into fourths.
Okay. Jeffrey says best podcast out there. Thanks for the entertainment. Also, apologies to anyone that gets stuck playing with Final Fantasy 14 with me. I'm out here guessing.
Save the computer.
I wonder what type of pizza Sean's making.
It's pepperoni, I guarantee it.
It's probably something. Well, he likes cheese.
Do we think it's
right?
like a DiGiorno? Do we think it's like an
Elio cheese?
Wait, hold on. First, we're going on the premise that he made a pizza, right? You don't think he ordered one?
I figured that's a good point. It might be leftover pizza.
Yeah, it's leftover. It's not. He didn't make. Somebody gave it to him. He didn't make it.
Yeah, he's having like couch pizza.
Yeah, there's no way in hell like Sean actually makes a pizza himself.
Yeah.
Like, style, hell no.
Boy, I'm giving him too much credit where he like took a Red Baron out of his freezer and put it in a friggin' toaster oven.
It's probably pizza rolls.
Oh. It is not a Red Baron. It is heating up in the oven, and it's a delicious stuffed crust pizza from Little Caesars.
I knew it.
Yeah, reheating. Like, we were debating whether you actually made it or not. Like yourself.
Little Caesars stuffed crust is delicious. I don't care what anyone says.
I used to like that pizza a lot. This is very good.
Sean, you bring shame to us Italians.
Stuff with cheese.
I know, because I get pizzas from an Italian joint down the street, but sometimes I just want a stuffed crust pizza. There's no Pizza Hut. Domino's, they can go to hell after their whole thing getting pissed at Nick Gage for using a pizza cutter while they were running an advertisement. Imagine getting mad because 1.2 million plus people saw your advertisement. I'm going to get mad about this. Like,
I have questions about the pizza
fact that it was
thing.
picture advertising. He's just running the pizza cutter across Jericho's head is like dominoes.
They were doing a death match, Jordan, and
I didn't go to death match actually mean they try to kill each other with a pizza cutter.
I mean, it's Nick Gage, MDK all day. So in the picture Nick Gage has a pizza cutter and he's cutting Jericho's forehead with it, and a Domino's ad is playing right alongside of it, and they're like zooming in on Jericho getting his. It was completely unplanned, but like supposedly Domino's got mad about it, and I'm like, dude, you got over 1.2 million people that watched that ad. It was one of the highest rated segments for the show. Why would you get mad about it? That's promotion.
That was perfect.
These are the people that the people watching AEW. At 9:45 at night, watching a man get his head sliced open, they're the people that are going to want your pizza.
Yeah, losers. Yeah,
stop it.
This is from Diz saying, "I'm sure you'll talk about it, but curious who has played the Halo Tech preview and your thoughts. I'm in love with it and can't wait for full release." We did talk about that. And Andrew says, "RGT, please rank Kanye's albums."
Ooh, this is going to be a controversial statement. I like Kanye as a producer. I don't like him as an artist.
Oh, that was a controversial statement.
I've never, even College Dropout, like, which was popular when I was like in college. I don't know. Like, I was just like, I don't like this. Like, I like the beats, but I don't like his stuff.
Hopefully this is.
I mean, one of my favorite songs is Down and Out by Cameron, which was produced by Kanye, but I don't like Kanye as an artist that much.
Hopefully this isn't the moment that gets you canceled, because it needs to be something better. It just needs to be something better.
Yeah, I mean, I've gotten away with a lot of things.
Voxel says, "Been playing so much Final Fantasy 14 lately. Such a good game. A lot of Final Fantasy 14 love.
I love it. It's so good."
Christo says, "Enjoyed RGT's live stream. With Xbox having a quiet Christmas and first year, is Sony's it's Sony's turn. Hope is stacked 2022 for all consoles. Learning from Cyberstunk 2077." There you go. LR Napa says, "Big old beefy boy."
Beefy.
Flea says, tomorrow is the August 1st warning." There you go.
What?
Tomorrow's
Warning.
August 1st. That's the warning.
August 1st?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Why is it
Fish
a
fan-
warning, though?
I don't know. It just says impact after that. Fish fan says, "Thanks for another great show, Spawn crew. Congrats to RGT on his live stream this week. Any good Gma eats this week, RGT?"
No, I actually didn't see her this week. I'm going over there tomorrow, though.
Very nice. The game.
Let me go on a little tangent here, because
okay.
we really don't have many topics anyways. Boost Mobile can eat a dick.
What?
Boost Mobile is terrible. I got my grandma a hotspot at her house so that when people go over there, we can have internet and stuff, because she kind of lives out in the sticks. And so my card that I had auto pay on, the expiration was this month, and so I tried to log in to correct it, to update my card information, and they were like, "What's the phone number?" And I was like, "Well, I don't have a phone number. It's just the hotspot." I looked through every piece of documentation I ever got from Boost Mobile, and it never had a phone number listed. So I called Boost Mobile, and that was a terrible idea, because the person I talked to was literally in another country on a cell phone, because I could hear like water and children in the background. And I'm like, "What the fuck is this?" And he's asking me the phone number. I'm like, "I don't have the phone number because it's a hotspot, and they never gave me any information on it." And like, no, he couldn't do anything for me. So what I had to do was I had to actually let it lapse. And then I went with Cricket Wireless and got a hotspot through that, got more data at a cheaper price. And guess what? The phone number is all over the documentation. So if I ever run into this problem again, it will not be a problem. Boost Mobile, go to hell, and my pizza.
This episode is brought to you by Boost Mobile.
I gotta be honest, I didn't even know Boost Mobile was still a thing. I did not know that was still around. Well, I know now, but
after this complaint, they got no chances.
He ended their whole career.
This is the Game Warden says, "This is my very first super chat, and I just wanted to thank you for always keeping me updated. And I watch Spawn Wave at RGT85 every morning without fail." Thank you, Game Warden. PlayStation inferior. This should be good. But as people are selling their PS5 consoles due to Sony's bad engineering, they've dropped little to no exclusives, and they can't compete with Microsoft. Only a matter of time before PS5 loses support. I heard it here first.
The newest console's gonna lose support.
Apparently,
yeah, right.
Oh man,
does that guy want to put any? How much did he pay for that?
10.
Does he want to bet? Like I'll double that triple.
What, 30? $30?
Do even more, 10 times that, and I'll pay him like
$100.
a bet.
Hold
that
on,
PlayStation does not lose support. That they continue selling like crazy.
That's a lot of money.
There's another message came in from PlayStation Inferior.
That is a huge piece of pizza.
Two.
Because it's two.
Imagine thinking this doesn't look
Stuffed with
delicious.
cheese.
I'm
doesn't
sitting
matter.
here
Couldn't
believing
be
it.
me.
Yeah.
Could be me.
This is from PlayStation Inferior once again. Bit more knowledge here. PlayStation released trash games only. Xbox released Tech Marvel. It says Cope Ponies. Sony is going bankrupt, and Microsoft spends their revenue daily. They lost it a little bit at the end there.
This is like
They have an insider, and
this is like an anti-Xbox killer.
Yeah, they went back and forth.
Yeah, there were two of them in chat.
we needed the yin and yang, you know.
That dude just shakes with anger every time a PlayStation game gets.
We got a
reviews.
response here from Xbox lost PlayStation 1.
There we go.
Here we go.
I just think it's the same person just messing with everyone. It has to be.
PlayStation released more games than Xbox this year. Cope and Capital.
It's Jim Ryan and Phil Spencer.
Ryan and Phil Spencer.
And they're in the same room together, laughing at each other as they type.
This is Jamie. This is from Jamie saying, last week you mentioned ActRaiser. What about all the Quintet games for the service? Soul Blazer, Illusion of Gaia,
Yep.
Terra Enigma, Rolling Thunder, Abadox, Ease 3. So many good games that can't be that hard to get.
Yep. We want to see them on the
Illusion of Gaia is
NSO.
awesome. I love
They
that game.
are hard to get. That's the problem.
Grant Taylor says, do you think the price of retro games will fall anytime soon? Also, do you think the price of the Series X storage is overpriced for only 1 terabyte? We'll actually get into that in a second because we're going to talk about the Sony SSD situation here. Retro games, I think, are going to probably continue to rise for at least the next 2 years.
Yeah, that stupid Nintendo 64, Mario 64 going for 1 million. I think that's going to cause even more people to come into the market.
I think there are some people who want the market to keep going up, as well say, and I think that's why stuff like that's happening.
That Mario 64 thing was shenanigans.
Yeah, it's not worth that much.
Yeah.
That was just people trying to drive up the price of retro.
Can't wait to see what games are priced at too many games.
Yeah. Can't
wait for that one. I gotta find Cubivore still, so let's keep it under the mortgage payment. Cyber says no need to buy an SSD for the PS5 here. As soon as I removed COD, I have all the space I need now. Plenty of room for those delayed games coming whenever.
That's fair.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I mean, COD's 200 gigabytes or something, right? So
I'm much more vigilant about deleting my stuff. The biggest thing is Final Fantasy 14 is gigantic, but if a game comes out, I'll delete that MMO.
9 says Flight Simulator looks very dope. I wish Bus Simulator Train Sim World was as good, even though Train Sim World 2 is pretty dope as is. A lot of Sims.
What?
I don't even know if that's a joke. Maybe that's a joke. I don't know.
I have a feeling those exist.
I know there's a train simulator in Japan that just came out for the Switch, and you can actually buy
that is the legendary Densha to go.
Yeah. Did you see that controller?
It's awesome, man.
Yeah.
That controller is sick.
Have you played the Game Boy Color version? It is so good. That series is excellent. Densha to go. I recommend.
Let me check in here with
like $120. I was like, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen. It's like Steel Battalion.
Let's get a second opinion here from Xbox Lost PlayStation 1 saying Sony doesn't need holiday games, Cope Xbox.
I mean, that's not wrong. All we need to do is buy SSDs and put them into our PlayStation 5s, and we're good.
But why would we buy the SSD if we have no games?
Right, but first let's check in with PlayStation and let's check in with PlayStation Inferior, who says Halo over God of War, you can enjoy it for more than 2 hours.
God of War's a little longer than 2 hours.
Costello routine.
I told them this. They need to be in my live streams, giving me money to say stupid shit.
My favorite thing is this dude. I feel like it's the kind of guy who watches like 10 minutes of a Let's Play of God of War and goes, "Worst game I've ever played" for the rest of his life.
Right, but we also have to take into account what PlayStation Trash has to say, saying Kina is a trash flop. No chance against Halo at all.
PlayStation Trash.
I mean, compelling points on both sides.
Michael says, unfortunately, I don't think I'll be able to order RGT that Sanchu medal I had planned on anymore. Were you getting a medal, Sean?
Well, no, I'm still waiting on my Sonic Ice to come in, but he's talking about something different with.
Yeah, something very different.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't think I want to know what that is.
You really don't.
You really do not. You really do not.
BB says, do you think the OLED Switch is a blessing because scalpers have left the OG Switch alone for us to buy? I mean, I don't think the OLED Switches are selling for scalpers that well on eBay right now. I mean, they're just kind of hanging out.
They're available. The OLED Switches are available. They don't because Nintendo made a bunch. Then Nintendo made like a crap ton of them. So
yeah. I don't think there's gonna be a great item to buy and try to flip on. I think you have much more success with something like Steam Deck. So
that's actually limited.
That Dan guy says, I'm calling the Ascent as indie game of the year. There was a question actually about the Ascent. MVG, you played it a little bit. I saw a super chat. Do you want to speak on that for a second?
Yeah. So the Ascent, it started out slow for me, but I'm kind of getting into it. It's one of those games where I started playing it, and I wasn't really feeling it for the first few hours. But I really like the cyberpunk setting, and I like the mechanics of the game. It's obviously very much inspired by something like Diablo, as far as the way it plays. But what I didn't like about the game was it just felt rough around the edges. You know, it had that. I mean, it just needed that extra polish, right, to make it really like an amazing game. But the game has grown on me quite a bit, and I've probably put about 12 hours into it, and I'm like a level 20 character, and I'm having a lot of fun playing it. So I don't think it's a bad game at all. I think it's pretty decent, and check it out on Game Pass if you have it. If you have Game Pass, I think it's definitely worth a look. And co-op, which I haven't tried yet, I heard is really good. It's a lot of fun to play.
It's pretty decent, yeah.
But yeah, I think the game is fine. I mean, it's not earth-shattering, but it's a good game.
What do you think about it, Evan? You're playing it too.
It's all right. The RPG elements are light. It feels kind of like one of those old school top-down shooters, kind of like Shock Trooper for the Neo Geo and stuff like that at times, just with like how you kind of spray bullets in all directions and all that. I know, Max, I think I told you about Synthetic and you played it and said you liked it. The mechanics in that, I've been talking to a lot of people, the mechanics in the shooting in Synthetic are like a lot more refined than this. It's like a little bit more broad.
The tightness.
Yeah. But the gameplay is fine. It's just like MVG said, there needed to be a lot more polish just because I still don't fully understand how the stats work for the things I pick up and how all that.
Same.
Yeah, like I kind of started to get it just because if you look in like the subtext or go through all the different codex things, it kind of hints at what helps. But I have about the same amount of hours as you, MVG, but I'm only currently level 11 because when I went into co-op, it broke my quest in my single player game, so I had to delete my character and make a new one to then play. So it's got some bugs. It's a little out there, but it's okay. The setting's amazing though. The world looks visually stunning.
I think what I like about it the most is the sound. The sound is really good. Have you noticed like how, I mean, the sound effects like top quality. They put a lot of work into the sound for me, but I mean, story wise, I don't even know what the story is about, honestly, Evan. I just kind of skip through the storyline.
I have the gist of it.
I'm enjoying it.
The explosive, like visceral, badass, like type fighting. Is really cool. I have my character functions as he makes all the other characters that die explode, and then he fires tons of missiles out of his shoulders. So you just create this string of just huge explosions all over the place, killing tons of people, and it just feels great when you start doing that type of stuff.
Let's go over now to we'll come back to the super chats when we finish up here. Let's go over to Sony's big announcement that they're going to have their beta program running for the PlayStation 5 firmware that will finally introduce the use of that NVMe slot, which is about 8 months after the system released, So we now have access to it. If you're in the beta program, you can drop an M.2 drive in as long as it meets the right specifications, and you would get more space in your system. We know that we're seeing prices anywhere from $200 up to $1,000. You can also get like a 500 gigabyte for like $150, but I feel like most people are going to start with a terabyte and then go from there. So we have those prices. They get pretty serious if you want like a 4 terabyte, and there is some work involved, which didn't go over well for everyone because you gotta worry about the biggest thing for me was the overall height of the SSD, because you have a heat sink involved for this one, which it was heavily implied by Sony that you want to use a heat sink on their website. A little diagram down to like millimeters to make sure you can fit that thing in there. So What do we think about this? We still need to have the actual firmware come out. It's currently in beta testing for people who have access to it. So we'll find out, I guess, which ones are compatible and which ones aren't as people test them. But where are we sitting with this? Who's getting an SSD and putting it in their PS5?
So, I mean, I haven't been filling up my console yet, really. I feel like I install some games, I delete some games. But additionally, is this as complicated? So I haven't looked into this, but I've seen so many people divided on this is super easy, it's plug and play, and the other side being like, oh, me trying to fix my PS5, and it's a guy like building a plane with screwdrivers.
So I think if you compare it to what Xbox does, it's more complicated, yes. But it's not. You take the side panel off, you'd unscrew one screw to take the door off, then you slot it in correctly, you screw that in, and then you just close it up. Okay. In total, probably take about 5 minutes to install it.
And it'll plug in just like a little click in there kind of thing.
It's like sticking like memory
RAM?
into it, like memory into a computer. Yeah. Like
okay. Yeah. Okay. That doesn't sound too hard.
The thing is, some people don't even know how to take the side panels off a PlayStation.
That is correct.
and I mean, I know that may sound a little strange, but like, you have to know what you're doing, right? I mean, you got to hold down on both ends, and you got to know which panel you're taking off. It could be the other side. So, I mean, a lot of people are just gonna not even bother with this because I feel like it's just too complicated.
There's a lot of people who don't want to do it because if you think about it, though, we are getting into the realm of like what you would do to upgrade a PC with the console, and Sony's done this with their consoles since the PS2, where they basically say you have this slot to put a hard drive or now an SSD or the NVMe slot into. You just go ahead and pick what you want as long as it's within reason. And before they were using the slowest hard drives anyway, so you weren't going to mess it up. Now they're using some of the fastest NVMe drives you can get, so you can mess it up technically. And it's not as clear cut because you need a heat sink and all of this. The thing I'm surprised is they didn't have a branded PlayStation. Yep. They didn't partner with a company and go, hey, we'll even put the PlayStation logo on the heatsink. It'll be really cool looking, and we'll sell it for $250 for a terabyte or something there.
And they still may end up doing that, right?
Yeah, but they could.
Yeah, because I mean, remember, this is the beta, and I don't know when 4.0 is supposed to be coming, but I would say probably at the end of summer. So maybe they will have something to reveal, when the 4.0 firmware does release. But yeah, I mean, it is a little strange right now that you just kind of have to fend for yourself on Amazon trying to find a drive that hopefully will work for you, right? And it's up to, I mean, I've seen like Tom Warren and Eurogamer, the other ones that have these compiled list of compatible drives, right? So there should be really a lot more information and a lot more pointed information as to these are the drives that you need, for this to work. Because I think some people are just going to buy an SSD drive and, and they're going to say, oh, this is going to work because it fits the slot. And they're going to find out that it's not even compatible. It's just going to turn off the system and say, remove the drive from your PlayStation 5,
My question is, are we going to have to worry about these drives overheating if you don't put a heatsink on it? Like, will there be a shutdown on it or something? Is it going to run it that hard that Sony is like, yo, you should probably put a heatsink on this thing?
Well, I think it's either, I mean, there's obviously going to be some type of thermals in there that'll tell the system how hot, it's running. But I also wonder if those drives will start to throttle, if they do get hot, maybe they just cut the speed down to like a half or a quarter. I don't know, but it's definitely interesting to see. Because I mean, the other option is you could buy a third-party heatsink for a drive, but for whatever reason, the heatsink isn't doing its job.
Good point.
And it still may shut off your PlayStation, and then you're really screwed because it's like, well, I did everything that they told me to do, but it's still not working properly. And at that point, what do you do? So, I mean, I think there's definitely some room for error here where some people may just get overwhelmed by this, and just not even bother doing it.
Yeah. I mean, Evan, we were in retail for a while dealing with this kind of stuff. And this is something that people would say it was very easy to replace the hard drive in your PS4. Was the biggest thing, right? How many times would people bring in a PS4 and be like, can you change the hard drive for me?
It was a common thing that we did. I think
it was almost a lot.
Daily at that point, yeah.
It was a lot. They'd buy a hard drive, they'd bring it in, like, can you change this for us? Because for us, it's like you pull the side panel off, you unscrew a screw, and you move it over to the tray and you drop it in. So it would take us like 5 minutes. But in reality, people just don't like taking their stuff like that apart.
Yeah,
you know,
I mean, it's scary.
Think about it. It's a PS5. Like, they're not easy to find. So I think people are going to be more on the side of, you know what, I'm just going to delete my stuff. That's what you were saying, Sean. You were like, I'll just delete things.
Yep, it's easier for me.
Yeah, like for me, I'm gonna get the. I already have it. I already have the 1 terabyte SSD here. So
yeah, I've got 2 drives. I've got the 98 Pro and I've got the Western Digital. So I'm gonna like play around with either one and see what the performance differences are. Because I mean, you know, it depends on the controller that the drives come with as well. I have heard that it won't be as fast as the internal controller, obviously, because that's custom PlayStation. But I've also heard that I think Insomniac had tweeted that performance, you know, running the game on SSD, on the M2 drive was kind of comparable anyway to internals. So that's pretty positive to hear that. So I'm curious to hear, you know, what the performance is going to be.
OJ, what's the take on this? I saw you had a video on it. You were talking about the SSD. Everyone agreed with you on it, of course.
Everyone agreed with me, of course. Yeah, I mean, it's not that it's a hard thing to do. I'm pretty sure most people can do it, you know, if they try to do it. It's that I don't feel like doing it. Right. Especially if you have like another, like an Xbox, when it comes to just how the system operates, it's so much easier to get. There's multiple things that just makes Xbox easier.
I'd agree with that.
In certain cases, like with just how the system functions, you already get more memory just to begin with, right? And then on top of it, like, it's just like a plug-in, like, you know, like the 360 days or whatever, like the first 360s, like just proprietary memory. So like, I understand, like, you know, some people are saying, oh, it's not that hard and all that, but it's like, I don't, like, it's not a PC. Like, this is why we get away from, because like, you know, heat sinks down and all this other stuff. It's just, I know it's not hard. I can probably do it, no problem. But I don't want to do it. I don't want to install heat sinks. I don't want to sit there and have to do like unscrew and like I don't want to do all that. So it's just probably gonna make me not want to play like just buy the games on Xbox. Just, you know, first. just buy it on there instead, so I don't have to deal with that because I already get more memory and there's already like stuff like quick resume and things like that. So it just makes things a bit easier. Like I get it. It's not gonna be hard. I can probably do it. I've changed stuff in my PC before. But I just think it's not a good look, like a good take, like when you're looking at it from like just a casual consumer perspective and all. And I just don't feel like doing it, to be honest, man.
It is it is nice to have that, like the memory card, like the storage expansion card they have for the Xbox is pretty nice in that it just plugs in and it's hot swappable. So while the Xbox is on, you can just unplug it. And I've walked between, like, I have the Series X down here and then upstairs. I've used it on either one, and I have my account on both of them. You drop it in. And it can play right from the card. So if I don't have the game installed upstairs, but I have it on the card, I can just drop it in. So I mean, that is a benefit, is that it's hot swappable. Obviously, the big thing is that Sony was going for just pure speed from these devices, the SSD. So they were like, well, we're going to just run through the slot itself, and you're going to need a heatsink. So it's that convenience factor, like you're saying with the Xbox, though.
I mean, if everything was like compatible and it was like no problem, like there was like everything just came ready to go with every single one, then I'd be like, all right, but there's something about like the thickness of the thickness of it. Some of them aren't going to work. Some of them aren't going to work. Some of them are going to work. You got to make sure that it's like, all right, man. Like, you know, that's just, like I said, it's probably not going to be hard. It's not rocket science or anything like that. I could do it, but I just don't feel like it. RGT's like, I'm just going to delete the games. I don't care, you know, like, So that's how some people just want to, because they want it to operate like a console. I don't want to start having to upgrade like PC. Like, I already have a PC that does all that. I got to do that with my. I got to start doing that.
Like
console,
I assume I assume the drives will get cheaper as we go along because they're third party. So in 2 years or something, these drives will probably be like half price by then or something. At that point.
Yeah, and I think that's where we'll see the benefit of this drive and this decision that Sony had made. Like, because I mean, putting a 4 terabyte expansion. It is a cool idea, right? And eventually those prices are going to go down. I think ultimately what I'd like to see is Microsoft, maybe some competitor come in and build, drives for the Xbox as well. Because right now there's just that one drive, right? But hopefully we'll see more of those on the Xbox start to appear. But I think ultimately, as far as future-proofing goes, it's the right move to make, but I just question, the execution of this, and like I said, it's going to turn some people away. They're not going to want to do it.
I'm surprised they didn't figure out how to make it so that there was, like with with the PS3, we just had a tray that kind of slotted out and then slotted in.
Yep. But you had that, remember that screw, that special screw that
those
you had
were hell.
Those things stripped all the time.
They stripped on me when oh my God, that, man.
They didn't want you to replace that drive.
No, but I'm surprised they didn't come up with like some kind of tray or like a caddy for the NVMe drive itself that would also make it so you don't necessarily need a heat sink. Like when you slot it in, it has like I don't know, some sort of padding or something in there, like a thermal pad that would touch it, or just some way that you basically don't have to take the side panel off. Even you pop something off and unscrew it and it slides caddy out and you slide it in. Just something there to make it just slightly easier when it comes to all of this, because I can see some people seriously trying to put the NVMe drive in upside down or something crazy.
Yeah.
Like we all kind of sit here and they're like, no one would do that. And it's like, Evan and I saw it a lot. So like it's, I think people really forget the how much larger percentage the mainstream that doesn't feel like doing some of the stuff takes up compared to like all of us sitting here on a podcast and everyone here online, talking about video games.
I worked at a gaming store during the PSP era, and I remember people kept buying the PSP Go, and they'd buy physical games and they'd leave, and they'd come back the next day and be like, yeah, these games, this is a digital-only console. They just couldn't figure it out. So it's like, yeah, people are definitely going to break their PS5s trying to just shove that in there.
Well, I'll probably make a video on it at some point, showing people what works and how to do it. So
I kind of want to do it just because I do a lot of PlayStation content. I kind of just call it like a dipshit tries to upgrade his PS5.
I mean, I'm going to do it because I'm like, I want the extra space, and deleting and reinstalling these things. It's like, it's patch after patch for most modern games now. So if I can just have the extra space and not have to worry about that, it's fine.
Same. And I think, for me, I'd like to run some tests without a heatsink and see what happers. Does it shut down? Does it overheat? Does it just throttle? Can we get a
thermocoupler on that thing?
I mean, I've got the IR camera that has the thermal camera, so I could probably do some tests.
I might tape a thermocoupler to it. See what happens. All right, Nate, let's hear it. What's your thought on the SSD?
I mean, it's fine. It's a future-proof design. The prices are high right now, but they're going to come down, as has already been said. And I mean, I would say it's a pro-consumer move by Sony. This was better than them going with proprietary tech like they did with the PlayStation Vita. One of the biggest flaws of the Vita was the memory card prices. That was a huge gate to people. You were paying, what was it, like $80 for a 16 gigabyte memory stick.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
Yeah, it was obscene. This gives power to the consumer. You can go out, you can choose which M2 drive you want to buy. You can wait for sales and all that. And by the time most of the consumers are actually looking into the solution, Sony will probably have a very detailed step-by-step, a full list of compatible drives, what you need, links to even buy them. I mean, we're talking about a beta program right now for a firmware that's likely not coming out for another 2 months.
I assume the beta is so that people can test the drives themselves and basically report which ones work, and they collect data that way.
Yeah, I mean, that's potentially one of the reasons that they're doing this. So when it does come time to launch it, they can have a comprehensive list of what they can recommend to the consumer. The majority of people who are going to jump in on this in the next couple of months when it's officially released to the public, it's going to be an incredibly small percentage of people. And like Sean, right now, I'm fine with deleting the games as I complete them. I beat Ratchet and Clank. I have the disc. I uninstall it. I platinumed it. I'm not going to go back to the game anytime soon. It's not that big of a deal. I can see where, it's going to get frustrating for some people, especially those PlayStation 5 digital systems. I can see they may be running into the issue of you're constantly deleting and you're clearing the fridge very often. They're likely going to be that minor percentage who is going to jump in and buy the M2 drive once it is available to the public when 4.0 is released. But I mean, it's a good move by Sony. Yes, it has a number of obstacles in terms of just how, installation and such. But I want to wait for Sony's official marketing and messaging when it comes time for the firmware to release and see how they explain it to the general consumer of how to install, what drives they recommend. Because usually Sony's messaging is, top notch when it comes to this type of stuff. So if they can come out and they may even do a video tutorial on their channel But if that can come out and they can get the message clear and across and how you can do it and how you can avoid problems, I don't think it's going to be that big of an issue. But right now, I'd say the biggest obstacle is price. It's still a very expensive piece of technology, and it's because it's still relatively new technology. And this is the price you pay if you want leading edge.
Yeah, I mean, when the Switch came out, SD cards were kind of expensive then, right? We had like how much was the 400 gigabyte at the time? I think that was like, I feel like that was like 450 or something.
Yeah, it's like
probably.
Dollar
and now it's I think it's under $100 now, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah,
you can get the 1 terabyte for about $199.
Yeah,
1 terabyte to $200. Yep.
Yeah. So like those have fallen like completely in price now. Mm-hmm. So like I expect as we move along here, because we're going to be dealing with the PS5, we assume 6 years from now even, that these will probably be a dime a dozen and easier to find.
Yeah, they'll be cheaper. And I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if you see Sony partner with one of these companies, be it like Western Digital, where they say, Sony recommends, even if it's right there on the packaging. Like you see Nintendo has like the SanDisk where Nintendo branded and they just charge you an extra $30 to have Mario on the SD card.
Yep.
You're probably going to have something with Sony where they're just going to have PlayStation 5 compatible on some of these boxes, so the general consumer can go to Best Buy and pick it up off the shelf and say, okay, and you're going to get the instructions. I mean, they can simplify
and the screwdrivers and then
everything that you need.
And the new faceplates.
They can simplify this process over a period of time. Right now, we're in the infancy of it. I mean, it's being born in front of us, and we're already worried about how we're going to pay for it to go to college.
Okay. Well, I will try to install one as soon as I'm able to. So we'll see what happens. I have that Samsung.
I ain't buying that shit.
I got the 980 Pro with the third-party heatsink. I don't know if it'll fit. That's the biggest question. I mean, I guess I can test fit it now and see, but we'll see. We'll see. And we got Discord questions over there.
Do you think the Switch needs a fast charging mode?
I would like one. I mean, why not? I mean, it's. I'm trying to think because I usually put it on the dock, and like I'm playing docked 80% of the time now. So, I mean, sure, it'd be cool to have it just so it charges faster. I don't know if it necessarily needs it because of how I play it, but it'd be nice if it can charge a bit faster.
Do you think the Steam Deck will have issues with suspending the console with active games up?
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
I will say probably because
probably.
Yeah, the smarter the people than me are saying probably. So yes.
What's the next one, Evan?
And then the last one: will groups like Digital Foundry use the Steam Deck in their comparisons going forward?
Oh, that's a good one. You know what? I hope so. I think that'd be cool.
I think see
like here's all right. So like a third-party game comes out on PC and on Switch, and they're like, all right, here it is on the Steam Deck. Here it is on the Switch. That'd be kind of cool. I don't know. They should be able to record it fine on the Steam Deck since they can just use like OBS or something. So, I actually like that. That'd be fun. Do that. Let me go back to some of these super chats here. Reese says Sony didn't release any of their big games in the holiday season during the PS4 gen. Uncharted 4, Ghosts, Horizon, God of War, Bloodborne, Last of Us 2, Infamous, all released in the spring or summer. Also, is OJ here? No, it was 20.
I'm here.
OJ's here. All right. Very good. Eric says, if you enjoy movies, go see The Green Knight.
I want to. The reviews have been crazy good. I want to watch it.
Really?
I'm going to try to see it.
I've been wanting to see that for when the first trailer, the announcement happened like a little over a year ago. I've been waiting to see this one.
Let's go see it this week, man. Let's do it.
It's apparently super artsy, huge chunks that are like silent and color graded. I want to watch it.
Yeah, it sounds like my kind of movie.
I was going to say, Sean will be first in line for that.
What did I watch last night? The Towering Inferno from 1974.
All right, that's a good movie though.
That wasn't good. I wasn't good at it. It was a little bit of padding, I felt, but I loved. You know what's a problem with modern movies? All your characters. Everyone makes it out and everything's hunky dory. No, motherfuckers were dying in the Towering Inferno.
About the Suicide Squad coming out next week.
I randomly last weekend I was drunk in a hotel room and I watched Independence Day. That movie has zero filler.
Dude, I watched that movie like 2 weeks ago.
That movie holds up so amazingly.
Oh gosh. DVX says, on a more serious note, what are your thoughts on the Blizzard walkout? As someone who stopped supporting them since BlizzChung, I'm happy to see this.
I'm very happy with it. I have officially uninstalled every Blizzard game, unsubscribed from every Blizzard service. I'm not playing World of Warcraft anymore, not giving them a penny of my money. Organized protests like this are the only way to be heard because it scares investors. And if investors get scared, then people actually will change stuff.
Okay. This one's from Matthew Perry's Dusty PS5. So they're changing it up a little bit here. Okay. Saying Xbox W. Sean. Okay. Here's a good question, Sean. This is a good one. Ready for this?
All right.
This is their opinion. Phil Spencer over Jim Ryan.
In 2021? Okay. I used to hate Phil, but I mean, Phil has been very transparent where you can't say, I don't think you can necessarily say Jim Ryan has been.
Okay. I mean, this could be changing going forward, but right now you agree with Phil Spencer over Jim Ryan for you right now?
I will just because of transparency.
Okay. Also, they say they love Halo. They got a little heart there. Wall says out of I don't know what the Miss Tech. I don't know that out of curiosity any fans of, and then it's just an MS and then a T and then a 3.
Oh,
MST3K.
Yeah, Mystery Science Theater. Yeah. Mystery Science
there you go.
Theater.
That one.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Okay. There you go. Jalen says, anyone get a chance to play Blaster Master 03? I've not.
I've not
came
either.
out.
I was supposed to do a deal with them too, but I never heard back from them.
Got a code. Haven't got a chance to play it yet.
Yeah, it's tough. Halo, Death's Door, and I kept saying I was going to try out the Ascent. I haven't done that yet, so I'm in trouble. I'm drowning in games right now. Yeah, games are all over the place.
Still playing Monster Hunter Stories 2 as well, man.
I put that down, so I go to the next stuff.
I would say super quickly, the Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster is surprisingly good. I played it and did a video this week.
Oh, good. They didn't mess that up.
It's super authentic. It's based on the original NES version. So instead of trying to like remake them, they're kind of they updated the sprites and magic and all the music is redone. It's really weirdly good.
I'm gonna go ahead and download it on my Switch right now.
Yeah, that's the downside. PC only and
oh, that's right.
Phone.
I did hear that
on your Xbox.
I did hear that there was someone was able to figure out how to replace the font.
I saw that.
What's weird is that it's in the code. There's like an alternate font in the code. You just basically enable it. Like it seems like there's already a console version built in the code, basically.
Nice.
Corey says, have you guys played Tony Hawk's 1 and 2 remake yet? What were your thoughts on it? Yeah, we talked about that a while ago when it came out.
Played it on the Xbox, played it on the Switch.
I liked it on the Xbox when it came out. It was very good.
It was surprisingly good on the Switch.
Yes.
You know, I didn't think it would be as good as it was. I thought there'd be some type of jank with it. You know, there's gonna be problems online, and it's actually fairly solid. And I had it on the Xbox as well. And I actually played a little bit more on my Switch just because I played it at my mom's house portable because it's just pick up and play.
Stead says, Nate, why is Dirt 5 still releasing updates to the DualSense haptic feedback? Thought developers don't see money from Sony when Dirt 5 got so much money from Microsoft with the promotion of being Game Pass.
What?
Why did they ask?
Because,
Nate, why is that?
Because the developers want to implement PlayStation 5 features into that version of the game. What does that have to do with Game Pass?
I don't know.
This is like those Twitter people who make up something in their head and then get mad about it.
It's your fault.
That's like 90%.
It's your fault, Nate.
Like 99.9% of people just make up something. I'm going to be angry today. I'm going to be angry. Yes, I'm angry.
How dare they?
And it's your fault.
I don't really understand that question. Why would the game being on Game Pass somehow prevent them from implementing PlayStation 5 features?
I don't know. You mull that one over, Nate. I'm going to move on here. This says, with the Blizz allegations and the general core conditions main devs work in, are unions and threatening strikes delays necessary to create change?
I
maybe
hope so. Well, the weird thing is that so many other countries have unions and they do help them and they are still making good games. We're the one country where we just like let people get abused and isolated. It's really weird.
This is from Hunter of Ponies. You know it's going to be a good one.
Go on.
With more of Jim Ryan's lies and no first-party PS5 games for the rest of the year, Xbot Killer should have ample free time to write in every week.
We're going to have to make Xbot Corner. We like read one Discord message from every week.
This is from Game saying, is it just me or is Abandoned something more than an indie game releasing teaser next week with 18 different languages plus all the other cryptic stuff? Yeah, okay, hold on. Wait, what's with this tweet, Nate? Hold on. You say
fuck them. I swear, if that doesn't have to do with like Kojima or like a Metal Gear or something, literally fuck them. They need to
so
be
I'm confused
ostracized.
Here, Nate. I need some help.
Why?
Here,
They're just playing into the marketing given to them.
Nate, I need some help here because apparently they were sponsored in some way by Konami at one point, is what I was reading.
When?
I saw
people like create these weird narratives with this company, and then when people say, "Do you have proof of this?" They never have.
Well,
any.
explain this one to me then. Why did they put out a picture of Abandoned in Metal Gear font, and then have what looks like a blurred picture of Solidus in the background?
Yeah, Solidus. Yeah,
probably because Hassan and these people are like geniuses, knowing if they do anything even vaguely close to Metal Gear, the internet is going to run with it for months.
Let them know, Sean. Let them know.
Which is fine. Which, if you want to do shit like that, that's fine. But I don't want to see you fucking go on Twitter and with your little crying video. Oh, it's been so stressful. Oh, everything is just so crazy. No, if you want to do shit like that and you want to fucking live on the edge and make your marketing edgy to try and bring in people, fine. But live by it. Don't fucking try to, get sympathy from people of being stressed out and stuff because people are linking you to something when you are actively trying to link yourself to something in order to get publicity for it.
But they say they have nothing to do with Konami, Kojima, Metal Gear, or Silent Hill.
Then why? Yeah.
If
why
people want to connect them to that, that's the individuals doing. It's not the company. It's not.
They're not
your imagination.
They looked up the exact font for Snake Eater.
They said we're not in making a Metal Gear game, and then basically tweeted out a blurry picture of Snake. Like what?
Oh, gosh, also, I don't know, Nate. I think you know what? I think Nate's in on it. I think I'm just gonna say it. Nate's in on this whole thing.
Just like Ski Sniper. He's
tell us, Nate. Yeah, right. Just like Ski Sniper.
Nate, you talked to that dude, didn't you?
Hassan?
Yeah.
Good man.
Hold on. What? Hold on. You talked to him?
There you
Hold
go.
on a minute.
Good fellow.
Metal Gear.
Friendly chap.
Something seems off.
I believe.
Was he the hotel room guy?
Yeah.
The seedy hotel room guy?
What if it came all the way back around like that? Oh man.
No,
that'd be the best story arc.
That was not
that would be the big twist.
Was not the game where I walked into the 5x5 hotel room.
That was that dogs one that
yeah, it was Fogs.
I still I'll be honest, I about 60% believe the conspiracy theories about that game. I think something's off about it. I do think it might be involving Silent Hill or some shit.
Well, they're going to show the game soon, right? And they're experiencing that this week?
August 10th. So I think it's next week. Isn't it August 10th?
I thought it was the 3rd.
Well, so you can install the app now, but it doesn't do anything. And then they've said the weirdest thing is that it's not going to be a demo. It's like an app that's going to run all the trailers, but live demos of the gameplay. It's weird.
It's going to be Metal Gear Abandoned, and it's going to be the first-person Metal Gear Solid.
I would love that.
This is from Reese saying,
I don't know.
How much time do y'all think will be between the release of Forbidden West and the release of Breath of the Wild 2? Well, probably unlikely. It'll be funny if that happened back in 2017, happened again, where Horizon released and a week later Breath of the Wild came out.
It's going to be a lot longer than that.
I think, yeah. I was going to say.
Year. It's not a year.
Yeah, we could see Breath of the Wild 2 at like the end of like 2022.
Yeah, this ain't going to be a
23.
Yeah, this ain't going to be a repeat of Horizon and Breath of the Wild 1.
And then Diz says, hoping for an update on Sean's crusty feet.
What?
They're okay. Nothing really going on.
When's the last time you used a lotion?
Next question.
I knew you haven't been using it. I could tell just by watching your videos you haven't been using it.
He stands up at the end of the video and you hear crunching sounds.
No, I can tell.
It's like
I can
walking
tell
on Doritos.
that lotion. I gave that lotion to my friend who is very similar in complexion and everything to you, and his skin cleared up and it looks a lot better. And yours have it. Yours is not cleared up the way that I want it to clear up, Sean.
I'll go back on my regimen of it.
Please.
There you go. Redbeard says, anyone play the Ascent yet? It's amazing. Jordan, keep killing it on your channel. Mario Strikers on Switch, anyone? Game on all. Yeah, I would like to see Mario Strikers. That'd be good.
A new Mario Strikers would be the best.
Yes.
Yes.
Brand new.
Let's see. We have 9 saying, wonder if RGT is going to have a rant on his next video about WWE releasing Bray Wyatt, like he rants about our Knicks.
I mean, it's just expected at this point. Like, WWE is just in this weird cycle where they don't want to create new people. They release people for no real reason, and they recycle the same people over and over again. That's why John Cena and Goldberg are back. They shouldn't be back in main event program.
Goldberg is back?
Goldberg's still wrestling.
Again. Here's the thing. If you want to bring them back as like a side attraction or something, I
remember their name.
like, that's cool. If you want to bring them back as a side attraction, that's cool. But when you thrust them into the main event scene challenging for the title, literally, like, Goldberg showed up and was like, "Hi, Bobby Lashley, I'm challenging for the title." And they were like, "Oh, okay." Same thing with John Cena. John Cena was like, "Hi, Roman Reigns, I'm challenging for the title." "Oh, okay." It's like, no, that's terrible writing. Yeah. And you're not developing new stars by doing this. You're just, if they wanted to do a side attraction match like Goldberg versus some random guy on the roster or something just to pop ratings or something, okay, I get that. But putting them in the main event scene is disrespectful, honestly, to all the people who have been working their ass off, especially during the pandemic, trying to make an entertaining show. Like, I don't know.
But do you think they're putting Cena against Reigns just so Reigns can topple a big name?
I mean, if that's the case, then that's just more bad, shitty writing. Because what's your end goal with it? Like, what's the plan here? What's the point? What are we building up towards?
Here's my question: Why don't we have a wrestling podcast with Nate and Sean yet?
I don't know.
Why doesn't that exist?
Probably should.
You guys just talk about wrestling.
Wrestling is a lot of work, though. That's why the wrestling channel went away, because it was turning watching wrestling into work, because I'm sitting there typing notes the entire time, and I'm like, this isn't fun.
Well, couldn't you just do like a live stream discussing the wrestling stuff just on that second channel?
That's a lot of work too.
There's a lot of wrestling news in a given.
You got AEW, you got WWE, you got Impact Wrestling. That's weekly. That's weekly television. There's wrestling on Monday. There's wrestling on Tuesday. There's wrestling every day of the week now.
Well, that's why I would just do like one live stream where you guys just kick ideas back and forth and just make fun of it and then end it after an hour.
Make fun. This is serious business.
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
Can I ask the dumbest question of all? Are these part of the same cinematic universe, like different superheroes, or is it something where it's like DC and Marvel and they can't cross?
Everyone is in a cinematic universe now except for WWE. Okay. WWE is on their own little island, but AEW is incorporating NWA, New Japan, to some extent GCW, Impact Wrestling. So they're trying to do, they're trying to do NWA. NWA is the longest wrestling promotion in the world.
Wrestling promotion.
Yeah.
Let's go to Walls of Jericho saying, remember back when we didn't even know release dates? We just go to Toys R Us, be surprised by the games, and take the little ticket to the register.
You had Game Pro and EGM though, which gave you release windows for stuff.
Maybe they're talking about when you were like young to the point where you didn't even get that. You were just like, you go there and you just see what's there, and that's that.
Like in the early 90s, you would just like, you saw commercials. So sometimes you get the release dates, but you were playing. You had monkey bars. There was little Susie across the street. I mean, there was like all sorts of other stuff that you were occupied with.
Little Susie, did you take her in your arms? Don't you let me go. I need you more and more.
Riding the bike, had the chrome bike finish. You had to do all sorts of stuff back. So you weren't really worried too much about the release dates of games. And you couldn't buy it on release date half the time anyway. So you had to either wait or birthday or Christmas. So it was just different. But no, I know what the dude's talking about. And it was cool just to go inside like a game store and just see like, oh, wow, okay, that came out. Cool.
I mean, there's still a lot of people who do live and function like that when it comes to games.
Because they're morons, because everything's in their soul right there in their hands. They can get information way better.
That's cool. I'm gonna pick up this game. This box art looks nice. Then they go home. This game sucked.
I'm trading in Returnal now.
That's
how I picture half people bought it. Yeah.
See.
Eric says, "Wait a minute. How is Ryan responsible for sales if people just want it?"
Yeah, Sean.
He's talking about Furling.
Talking about you.
Yeah, he's talking about
nothing to do with me.
Yeah, Nate.
Damn it, Nate.
What's the question?
You messed up again.
How is responsible for the success of the PS5 if people just want it anyway?
He's the lead.
Yeah, exactly.
The leader takes credit. It's just like if you're the governor or the president, you take credit for anything you do good. You also take credit for when you do bad, even if you don't have any say in what actually transpired. Anything good that happens with Sony, it's because of Jim Ryan. Anything bad under Sony, it's because of Jim Ryan. That's how it works.
Zerlaw says, yo, my man in the middle is back.
Who's in the middle?
Who's in the middle?
It's OJ.
Is it
It's
me?
OJ. Okay, there you go.
Okay. Wait, how much?
It's $5, actually.
Okay, I'm here.
Yeah.
Wait, where'd he go?
JP says Ghost of Tsushima is an unapologetic Assassin's Creed ripoff. Assassin's Creed did everything better gameplay-wise. Gotta be honest, that comment went in a completely different direction than I was expecting.
That was the worst comment I've ever heard.
I'm gonna call Cappy on that one, bro.
It literally it shows up Assassin's Creed in its own genre.
No, it is a ripoff of it is a ripoff. Like
but
they
it did it better.
Use Assassin's Creed as the base, but they made a better.
They made a better game.
Yeah,
I mean, opinions are opinions. If you enjoy Assassin's Creed more, that's on you.
When Ghost came out, I had a viral tweet where I said my favorite Assassin's Creed of all time is Ghost of Tsushima. People were mad as hell.
I actually played it for more than 20 hours. I haven't been able to get past the 10-hour mark in any recent Assassin's Creed. They're just so.
I'm a big Assassin's Creed fan. That's coming from me, who's played every Assassin's Creed. Ghost of Tsushima did it better.
Assassin's Creed's cool though. At times,
it has this moment.
Good.
Yeah.
This is Cyber saying Max's PS5 is the revision version to address the chip shortages. PS5 analog edition.
It's true. You get this and you just pour all your imagination in. You know, guys, this thing plays Forbidden West. You just put Horizon Forbidden West.
We used to do that as a kid though, like when you couldn't afford a game.
Oh yeah.
I think I'm playing this. I used to do that all the time. I just imagine that you're playing.
Yeah.
Carlos says better lineup by the end of the year, Microsoft or PlayStation?
I think Microsoft.
Right? They got two first
PlayStation will have Deathloop as well.
Microsoft didn't have a real first half of the year where Sony did with Returnal and Ratchet and Clank.
Correct.
Whereas Microsoft, I think, finishes the year stronger than Sony does right now.
Well, I think they're saying if you look at the whole year back at December 31st, you just look back by the end of the year. Yeah.
I thought they were saying back half. Then Sony wins for sure. Yeah.
And it says better lineup by the end of the year, Microsoft or PlayStation.
I mean, that's an impossible.
Depends on what you like.
Yeah, it depends on what you preference in terms of games. If you love first-person shooters like Halo, you're going to say Microsoft. If you enjoyed roguelites like Returnal, you're probably going to say Sony. If you enjoy Ratchet and Clank, you're going to give this favoritism to the PlayStation. If you prefer what Microsoft has coming down the line for the remainder of the year, you're going to say Xbox. It's based on preference.
If you like racing games, I mean, obviously you're going to Destruction All-Stars.
That's a terrible thing to say. But I mean,
do people remember that game came out, by the way?
No.
So I actually recorded footage of it the other day because the game's dead already. You can't get an online lobby.
I thought
it should have been a Twisted Metal.
So yeah, it will create a bot match, but I could not find a single live player. I recorded an hour of footage. I was going to do a video called "The First Dead PS5 Game," but it was so depressing I couldn't do it.
Oh man. Matanumi says, hate to be a troll, but Click's reminder rings true. These could have been delayed. Getting a PS5 now seems like a scam. I mean, you can look at the games that are out now, and obviously as OJ pointed out, third-party games are still able to sell PS5s pretty easily because most people still go to the PS5 as like that default third-party system. Most because the PS4 was like that too.
PS4 was a lot more than people would like to.
Which is weird because oh, never mind. You said PS4. Sorry, I thought you said PS2 at first. And I was like, weird but I mean that's also true. PS2 was a third-party system, even though the games were much better on the Xbox and the GameCube.
The PS2 had third-party exclusives, just like outright. There's like Devil May Cry, Final Fantasy. Like there was just like outright like exclusives.
I'm talking about more or less multi-plats,
like Madden.
Multi-plats sold better on the PS2, even though they ran better on the Xbox and the GameCube.
Huge PS2's installment crushed everybody. You know, it was even worse. You know.
And this is from CP3 saying, "MVG, I just purchased the RetroTink 5X. What are the best settings for improving the video quality of the Wii?"
Dude, just plug it in and enjoy it. You don't have to do anything. That's what makes it so great. It's like literally plug and play.
Get one of those still.
Use component cables though.
Yeah, use component cables. But other than that, just set it and forget it.
Yep.
Hunt Hondo says, will Sony have the worst holiday lineup of the big three?
Jesus.
I mean,
Yes.
they won't have.
If this is what have any games.
They don't have any games. So
if I'm to assume that what we know is all that's coming, yes.
I mean, unless
so.
they have some surprise like factions multiplayer reveal like they did with Ghost of Tsushima, and that's attached to like Last of Us. I don't know what else they're gonna do. Yeah, for the holiday. Afraid. I mean, the holiday starts. What do we say after September? So October, November, December, right? That's the holiday season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna see anything from Sony published in terms of internal studios for the remainder of this year. I think their last game was Ratchet and Clank.
Jesus.
Okay.
So that's rough in these streets, man.
James says, I'm a manufacturer and I have to point out that COVID is a bigger problem than people realize. Shortages in raw materials, that being paper and plastic, and labor means it's not getting any better anytime soon. Sorry.
I know. What's that?
I think he was basically saying that these delays are justified, like that it's not.
But these delays still existed last year when COVID was at its peak. I don't buy it. I don't. Sorry. Nothing will change my mind.
Look, this guy just said he's a manufacturer. People can't lie on the internet. It's illegal. So
that's true. Okay.
Douglas says, hey, any Monster Rancher fans really love the second one for PlayStation and wish the Japanese Switch ports could come to the US. I just remember renting it one time and I thought it was cool because your CD turns into a monster. That's all I remember.
That's all I remember too.
I like the show from Monster. I thought the show was really good.
I watched the show.
Couldn't you swap out the disc and have like your own music in that game?
You put the CD in and it read the tracks and the length of each track and it would spit out a random monster to you from your music.
Yeah. That's
pretty cool.
There was that bowling game 10 Pin Alley that let you do it. You'd open it up, it'd like load the whole game, and once you were bowling, you put in a CD and they'd play it over the sounds track in the game.
That's pretty cool. Mr. Roach says, hopefully RGT is ready for Balan Wonderworld.
Why? It's right here sealed.
Oh man.
Get ready for Balan, baby.
Sack Content says, to all, did you buy Neo? World Ends With You. Thoughts on the game? I have it here. My thoughts are the box looks pretty cool. That's about it so far.
I bought a pretzel and the game, and I still have not opened it up yet.
How was the pretzel?
The pretzel's freaking delicious, man. Oh my god, I forgot how pretzels hit. Like Wetzel pretzels from all.
I prefer Anti-Ams.
Oh man, no, Wetzel pretzel. I don't know. Do they have Wetzels in the East Coast? I'm not sure if they do.
Probably not.
Anti-Ams.
They have them here in Texas, but not many.
Yeah, the Wetzel pretzel in the mall.
I'm lying. Yeah, there's a Wetzel pretzel at the mall near me.
Yeah, go check out the Wetzel. Get the pizza pretzel.
Going to the mall? What are you, crazy?
Sean's gonna Uber eat that thing.
If you go to the
Uber Eats a Wetzel pretzel.
Yeah, the malls are kind of like,
there's nobody there. I went in the morning, picked up my game, got my pretzel. Oh man, it was good.
This is from Nomad saying Narita Boy is my top 3 of the year, but I haven't been seeing a lot of love for it. Anyone here play it? Thoughts on it? Great story and gameplay.
Hold on. Just before we get into that, Mr. M, Metroid Dread does not already have over 3 million pre-orders, most likely. Metroid does not have 1 million pre-orders. Okay, stop this narrative. No. Yeah, I will put every dollar in my bank account on that. Okay, no.
A lot of money.
I knew you were going to respond as soon as I saw that comment appear in chat.
Jesus Christ. Narita Boy. I've heard good things about that game.
Made that up.
It's on Game Pass, I believe.
I think so.
Yeah, it's it looks interesting, like the kind of the art style they went with. So check it out when I get a chance. There's, like I said, there's so many games going on right now. It's tough. Josh says Nintendo has forced fan games to shut down like AMR2, Mario 64 on Dreams, and Pokemon Uranium, but not Mario Kazooie hacks. Is there any reason why?
They probably just don't know about it yet.
They haven't gotten to them yet.
It's not on their radar.
Now they know.
But it'll eventually get on their radar.
Nintendo watches this podcast. Now say goodbye to Mario Kazooie hacks. It's all over. Tomorrow,
you killed it.
Gone.
Have you ever seen that? There's like the hard drive article that says Kotaku writes about another fan game only to watch it be destroyed. It's like that's pretty much the way it goes. As soon as it's talked about, it's dead.
Michael says there are 2 retro stores where I live in Tyler, Texas. That's Game Exchange and Entertain Mart. Question for Max: will you be at Retropalooza in Arlington?
Yes, I will. And I actually used to work at Entertain Mart. It was terrible.
Oh, okay. There you go. Victor says everybody is hyped for the Dead Space remake by EA, but all the real ones are waiting for Def Jam Vendetta or Fight for New York remakes to be announced by EA. We're waiting a while for that one.
Those aren't happening.
Yeah, I would like to see it, but I don't think that's happening. Not with all the names
I would like
and
to
labels
see what
and
would
stuff
happen
involved.
nowadays with like how what people they would choose from like modern
It'd be
day.
trash. That's what
It'd be very interesting.
Garbage.
It'd be very interesting.
I want to see
Lil versus Future. That's gonna be horrible.
Well, no, I was gonna say little Nas X comes out of hell and just starts beating everybody up.
I'm telling you, Fight Free New York is still awesome. Go play that one.
It'd be
So
you see, it'd be like Def Jam Icon, man. That was trash too.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, it'd be horrible.
It'd be Def Jam Icon with a question mark.
You see how expensive Fight Free New York is right now online?
How much is it?
Oh my gosh, hundreds of dollars.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, I have it on the GameCube, and I think the PS2 version is more expensive though.
I think I have it.
Yeah, that one I think is hundreds of dollars. It's everyone has like been talking about it recently, and I don't know. I feel like that game's not rare necessarily. It's just everybody's buying it and holding on to it. So
yeah, that game was like pennies a couple years ago.
Shinru says, "Hey everyone, why do some games have autosave and others require manual certain to save? Is it a design choice or something else?" Thanks.
That was
Design choice.
This is random. They added in autosave to the pixel remasters of Final Fantasy, and you don't realize how much it rocks to play an old school NES game with an autosave. It's so nice.
Jakin says, "Congrats, Jordan, on 100K. Don't worry, OJ, you'll get there one day. Just stop being in the thumbnails."
I'm not worried. I don't. To be honest, whatever I get. I'm very, very happy.
Hey, OJ's on the up and up right now, man.
Yeah,
He's
I'm
rolling.
very, very happy with what I do, guys. So, yeah, thank you. I appreciate it, but yeah, I'm very happy with my community and the support that I get is insane. So I'm good. Like numbers are just numbers.
Yeah, OJ's legit though. You should check out his content if you for some reason haven't.
Just to do a random, I was at a convention last weekend, Retropalooza Houston, and there was a guy walking around in a Player Essence shirt, and I walked up, and it was one of OJ's chat mods, and I talked to him, and it was super legit, so shout out to Cosmic. So OJ has the best community, seriously.
Eric says, "Hey guys, I'm a Sony pony and an Xbot boy and Nintendo. My opinions are superior." Yeah. Terrence says, "Man, we really need a Nintendo on top guy to make this more fun." Yeah, hold on. How come there's no Nintendo?
Keep reading.
Keep reading.
Yeah, keep going.
We had a new challenger.
Ross says, "I love video games, but selling used video games and consoles and the worst of any hobby. People lowballing and no shows for sales is a joke." Avatar says, "Console players, RU PC players, look what they need to mimic a fraction of our power."
I love that meme so much.
Minicus says, "Metal Gear question of the week. It's back. What game comes first? New game or Twin Snakes remake?"
Probably not.
I would say a new game.
I would say a new game, even though I'd love a Twin Snakes remake. We need a new game.
New game.
Quest says, "Want to thank MVG for working on Shantae GB port."
Not a problem.
I heard there's a patch coming soon.
Did you now?
Yes.
Where did you hear that
did.
from?
I believe it was in the LRG Discord. Apparently there's an end game bug.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
How'd you let that slide? Oh my gosh.
I cannot confirm or deny what you're talking about, Nate.
Nate out here giving the real leaks.
Let me see. It's from Way Forward. Someone saying that there is a crash.
Whoa!
You got Crash Bandicoot in the game?
When there is a warp squid in the golem mine, and they said, "Sorry about that. This is a known issue, and a fix is being worked on."
I'm out.
You should know, if you played the original Game Boy Color version, that same bug exists on the cartridge.
So you're going for authenticity.
You're saying you ported it so well that it's just...
That's what I'm saying. But we are looking at a fix for it. So
There
yes,
you go.
that is correct.
I was gonna buy it, but now I just don't know.
I'm out.
My God.
I'm out.
This is from just says, "I own a PS5 and a Series X." And then Terrence says, "I can already see parents watching how-to YouTube videos of putting an SSD in the PS5 and be like, those sides come off." And probably a lot of people don't even know they come off. Yeah. Slope says, "With gamers waging war on console storage, why can we not play games from disc? Was this elaborate plot from the corpos to sell SSDs with microchips in them to track us, take over our brains?" It's only logical explanation.
Sure.
Yeah.
Bron says, make sure you wear your safety vest when installing the PS5 SSD. I'm on the this is from Marky saying, "I'm on the Melbourne bitter cans." So for MVG, okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Drinking that Melbourne bitter.
I know PS5 and Series X says Nintendo Switch Pro will have 24 T-flops. Sean says, weekly reminder that Metroid Dread will sell 3+ million and knock.
Oh my god!
Knock off Bam Margera will review.
I already know this is Brad.
That's good. That's good. Roland says, tried out Steam on Mint Linux to check game compatibility. It's a mixed bag. Do you think Valve will manage to make all games work until launch? Probably not before launch, but they'll have a reason to improve over time. Otherwise, we'll just install Windows. So
yeah.
Sebastian says PS5 will have enough copper to cool the SSD. Oh, it should have enough. I mean, it does. It just can't make contact with the SSD. Jeffrey says, MVG, why is there less storage on the PS5 under 700 gigabytes than the Xbox Series X? 802 gigabytes. Series X has quick resume. What is taking up so much real estate on the PS5?
I mean, I guess the OS and other things. I don't know specifics as to why that would be, but obviously the OS is probably taking up a lot of that space. But also keep in mind that the compression on the PS5 is really, really good. The Kraken stuff that they have in there. So, I mean, I think that's, offsets the lower space overall.
Hits Overhype says, got my first platinum trophy ever with Scarlet Nexus today. It wasn't a grind at all, and it's probably my game of the year so far. Wish sold better. I need to go back and I'm like 3/4 of the way through Scarlet Nexus. I need to finish that one up. Xavier says, in regards to the smaller internal storage of the PS5, the Kraken compression on the PS5 makes games on average 39% smaller file sizes than Xbox Series X, just like MVG was mentioning. Ricky says, if Nintendo were to release Metroid Dread, Prime Trilogy, and 2D Metroid Collection on the Switch, what release order of the three will sell the most?
Wait, get me that again?
Metroid Dread, Prime Trilogy, 2D Metroid Collection on the Switch. What release order of the three will sell the most?
Exactly how you just said them.
Dread, Trilogy, Collection.
Yep.
Okay.
What? No, I'd say Trilogy, Dread, 2D Collection.
I feel like the 2D Collection should come out before Dread, right?
It depends on what the price is of the 2D Collection. And why are we releasing that when we have Metroid? Are we talking only Game Boy Advance games?
Let's clear up the first part. It's $60. Let's clear that up.
For the two Game Boy Advance games, $60?
Now let's put them up. Well, no,
let's put it 30.
Throw like the NES and the Super Nintendo.
I was going to say, throw in Samus Returns.
We'll put the Game Boy version on there.
Oh, yeah, if you throw in Samus Returns, that'd be dope.
Hey, see, now we're talking.
Okay.
I feel like I'm still surprised Fusion hasn't just been put on the Switch yet. It's very weird.
You can play it. What are you talking? All you have to do is dig out your Wii U and play it on your Wii U. Come on, that's easy peasy.
Portable system.
Yeah. Play it anywhere you want.
Yeah, plug it into the wall at anywhere.
No one will look at you like an asshole, except everyone, but I mean, that's okay.
So Jeff Grubb's game mess. Jordan, does Independence Day hold up?
Yeah, it's I mean, in terms of like, there's a lot of terms of no, but I think for what that film represented from its time, it's still a fun watch.
I haven't watched it in a long time, but
It's
now I kind of want to,
though,
because everyone's talking about it now all of a sudden on the podcast. I almost want to watch it again.
It's an iconic 90s film.
It's great.
Yeah, it's still great. Does it hold up? It depends on how much attachment you have to it. If you don't care about the film, I don't think it holds up.
I think the only thing that makes it feel really dated is that like every character has a hot girl waiting for them at the end. When they save the world, everybody like gets there with their wife or girlfriend. Like, and it's really weird. Like movies don't do it now.
I'm just happy that it's a Jeff Goldblum film. It's one of my favorites.
True. Kyr says early 2022 game of the year prediction between Elden Ring, Starfield, Breath of the Wild sequel, Horizon, and God of War sequel.
Do we have tea leaves? Are we supposed to guess games we haven't played?
That is that would be quite the lineup in 2022 though of games, just from what we're kind of getting a picture of now.
We have no idea how those games like.
Yeah, we don't know.
Like, what if God of War launches and it crashes every single 3 seconds? What if Breath of the Wild comes out?
That's why I got delayed.
It's not good. What if, I mean, like it's
like what if Elden Ring sucks?
Yeah, what if Elden Ring's not good? People don't like the new open world format.
Then we blame Jeff Grubb.
Let's stop cyberpunking everything. Let's just stop cyberpunking everything. Like let's just stop. It's just gonna be amazing. Like obviously we know these games are probably gonna be good, and you can be hyped for them based off of what you see. Like, and I get hyped for stuff, but game of the year and what's gonna be like, we just gotta wait till.
You're not allowed to have hype anymore, OJ.
You can have hype, that's fine, but we don't know if but I'm just saying, like, stop. That's what people are doing. Oh, Cyberpunk's gonna be game of the year. Everybody was just, Cyberpunk. There's no chance.
Not everybody.
Not everybody. No, but there was a lot of people that were saying that. I thought that it was just because people. CD Projekt Red just breathes and they make apparently the greatest thing ever in the world, you know? So like they can literally have bad mechanics, but no, the game's still good no matter what. So I just thought people are just going to think it's the greatest thing ever no matter what, but you know.
This is from Go saying, glad Baldo and Eastward got release updates, hoping some big indies that got delayed will drop soon too. Sports Story, Silk Song, Axiom 2, Disco Elysium. I want to see Sports Story. That's the one I'm really excited for.
Oh yeah, Sports Story.
I forgot that exists.
Are you making fun of Sports Story now?
Hey,
no, it's a game we've been waiting for an update on for like.
Can we get some respect to Baldo, please? Like nobody's
Baldo
talking about
this. It looks
Baldo looks like a fucking game of the year for an indie game.
It looks really good, actually.
As long as we just avoid Sports Story, it'll be all right. It could potentially do it.
Where's Silk Song, guys?
Sports Story is gonna be.
Yeah, Silk Song is missing with Sports Story.
I almost wonder if like Silk Song won't even be in an indie showcase. It'll just be in a full direct.
What about the Cuphead DLC?
Maybe.
What about the Cuphead DLC?
Nope.
What happened to the delicious last course?
Watch the show instead. Is the show out yet?
No, it's not out yet.
It's not even started.
Spyro says if you like Mystery Science Theater 3000, check out Riff Tracks.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Louis says, have you played Samurai Warriors 5? I have not.
You know what? It looks like it runs better than Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity from what I've seen from it.
Okay.
Is there like a demo on the Switch version?
I believe there is.
I think there's a demo. I think there. I'll check it out. I never play like the actual games. Like I always just play the themed, like the themed games of the Warriors. I don't ever.
Well, yeah, because the themed games are actually like interesting.
Ross says, when the Dreamcast died, I was so mad I refused to buy any Sony products for almost a decade. It will never happen, but I dream of a new Sega console.
Dreamcast 2.
It's Sega Spartan.
Oh, I knew you were gonna say
never say never. You never know what's going to happen in the future. They could come back and make a console.
Make that comeback.
Yeah, they could.
After this chip shortage.
So it says, does Nate not turn on his webcam because he had the best setup and doesn't want to upstage everyone?
Yes.
Because he's naked all the time, actually.
That's also partly true.
Victor says, if they got Blinks on Game Pass recently and we can play it now on the Series X, why not get Jet Set Radio Future on Game Pass? Make it happen, Microsoft.
Yeah.
I agree. That would be cool to see that. They need just more original Xbox games from that library just showing up on Game Pass. Yeah, let these new gamers know what it was the real classics were back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Blinks is a good first step. And Crimson Skies. Crimson Skies is on there too.
What about Sneakers?
I don't know what that is.
No one remembers the original Xbox game Sneakers? You play a mouse?
No.
I remember it.
I don't remember that.
I remember iNinja.
You call yourself original Xbox gamers?
Wait, are you talking about Sneaking, the Burger King game?
No, Sneakers. He was a mouse. It's on the original Xbox. Microsoft put it out.
Are you sure?
I must have missed that one.
Over a drunk weekend or something.
Is it called? You sure it's not called Squeakers?
No, it was.
Oh, it's called Sneakers. There's a mouse on the cover of it.
Yeah. It was like Moss before Moss.
Oh yeah, it's a real thing.
Small Heroes, Big Adventure.
L says Microsoft Flight Sim is Microsoft's oldest and most successful running franchise, older than Nintendo and Sony PlayStation. Or Nintendo.
Not sure about Nintendo on that.
It's been around for a long time, doing things that they don't want us to know about. So
prostitution, baby.
They've been around for a long time. Sony, maybe you could just say PlayStation, I guess technically. If you say Nintendo Systems, I don't know. I feel like they've still been around longer than Flight Simulator. I'd like to see how far back Flight Simulator goes. I'm gonna finish up a Streamlabs. Let me go around. Sean, where can everyone find you?
Find me on RGT85. I'm actually not going to plug RGT85 though. I'm going to plug the live channel. Got almost 7,000 subs over there. If you want me to talk live about things that maybe I won't cover on the channel or just random shit in general, you can find me on here talking, playing games, probably insulting games that you grew up loving. So yeah, check it out over there.
This is from Log saying, what game or games do you see as perfect games with no flaws? The only one I personally think would be Celeste.
Metal Gear Solid 3.
I sincerely believe that Final Fantasy VII is the perfect game. Like the leveling system, the side quests, the more I play through it again and again, the more I think it's just flawless.
I am going to say The Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past.
Not wrong.
Boom.
Perfect game. Chrono
Perfect
Trigger.
game. All right,
Chrono Trigger is the perfect game. It checks every single freaking box. And as an RPG, it's harder to do as an RPG because there's always something you can find wrong in RPGs.
Well,
I feel like when
Effect trilogy was put together recently, and that's
here we go with this Mass Effect trilogy again. I think when you get into the 3D world, I think it's harder when the games went 3D to have that perfect game. Like I feel like it was easier back
Resident
then.
Evil 4 comes close.
true.
Yeah.
I'll just stick with the original
Yes and
Spyro.
no. because
Escort
you-
mission. Escort mission.
That's
OG
true.
Spyro for me.
And not being able to shoot and move at the same. Even then, it was a bit awkward. Even back then, I mean, I still loved
Metal
it, but even
Gear
then.
Solid 3.
Metal Gear Solid 3 is very good. But,
Peace Walker's so much better.
Wait, the original Metal Gear.
Yeah, Metal Gear Solid. Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker is the best Metal Gear that's ever been made. I
Wait a
speak only
minute.
truth.
Wait a minute,
Who's
hold
your
on.
dealer?
RGT, are you
Look, I
telling me that
I haven't done meth in hours, brother. This is the very truth.
the original MGS3 is perfect?
Yes.
No,
Yes.
not that camera angle.
Yes.
Now,
What about the
other
3DS
one?
port?
No, not the 3DS. The
3DS port, perfect.
Substance
Every
or whatever. that one's
Subsistence,
much better.
subsistence, yeah.
Every version of the game is perfect.
Metal Gear Solid 3 is not perfect. Not that camera. Not that camera, bro. No, not that camera.
I remember when that game came out, I literally kicked people out of my apartment. Like a couple of my buddies were over and a couple chicks were over. I literally kicked them out of my apartment because they wouldn't shut the fuck up when I was playing that game. And, like I had just gotten it. I'm like, y'all need to shut the fuck up. And they're all just like partying and stuff. And I was like, no, get out. You're not ruining this for me.
Here's the real deep cut. I have it. Do you have the DVD where it announced the release date? They gave out a special Metal Gear Solid DVD, and you put it in, and Snake comes up and chokes a guy, and he's like, "Give me the information." And he goes, "March 15th," and he says the release date at the end of the trailer. That's how they announced it.
That's awesome. No,
Yeah,
I sold
I
most
have
of my Metal Gear related stuff.
This is from C saying, "Do you think Call of Duty will ever come to Switch? And thoughts on Sonic Adventure being ported over?" I mean, yeah, sure, port Sonic Adventure.
Maybe.
Then create 3.
That was a crispy maybe.
I don't know if Call of Duty ever come to the Switch. Who knows? Activision is dealing with their own stuff right now, so we'll see. I mean, they still have to announce They haven't even announced Call of Duty yet. That'll be interesting reception when that happens too. By the way, we'll see how that goes. Sledgehammer about to walk into a whole mess themselves. Yeah. Let's go to Jordan. Jordan, where can everyone find you?
You can find me on Jordan Fringe on YouTube. Talk about TV shows, movies, old and new. Thank you for 100,000 subscribers. It's surreal, and I really do appreciate people checking out the content. So thank you very much.
Yeah, post a picture of that play button when you get it. Post it up on Twitter.
Yeah, I will. It'll be a surreal feeling when that comes in. So
very nice, very nice. And let's go over to MVG. Where can everyone find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Modern Vintage G and on YouTube at Modern Vintage Gamer. Check out my video on Monday. There's still a week left to go on my 2DS giveaway competition. So get entered if you haven't already been entered into that. And yeah, thanks for having me on.
It's from Cannon saying, recently with Wizards of the Coast not setting MSRPs on their prices or products, if the game market were to do this, where do you think the price of games would be?
Higher than it is now.
Oh, definitely.
I think some companies would try to just push it as far as they could get away with.
Yeah. I could see like Activision and Take-Two and EA like getting together and be like, all right, what are we gonna charge for these? Let's just come up with an $89 price right here, right now. Let's go over to OJ. Where can everyone find you?
Yeah, find me right here on YouTube, Player Essence. I also have a pretty cool giveaway for Neo: The World Ends With You that's ending tomorrow.
I better win that because I'm not buying that game.
What do you mean not buying it? What are you talking about?
I just bought $300 worth of X-Men figures, okay? Can't afford it.
You're dumb as hell.
They're sealed, though.
What?
That sounds worse, not better. Toys you can't play with?
You are literally
you
the most
might
grown-up
win.
child I've ever seen, and I love it.
You might win, but so yeah, if you want to come enter in. Oh, go ahead, RGT. Go ahead. Tell what you say.
I never had the X-Men toys as a kid. But my parents wouldn't buy them. But so like in 3rd grade, I remember this kid Wesley had the Cyclops figure, and I would always try to steal it from him.
Man, Wesley really. He really still has you like 30 years later, huh?
Yes.
You're not gonna open those toys though.
No, hell no. I'm not even gonna open the box until I move. Because I got no room for there's 20 fucking figures in this thing. I got no room for that shit.
Why'd you buy?
Okay.
I've been watching the show.
OJ, you want to let everyone know once again where they can find you before we next?
Yeah, you can find me at Shibuya. No, Neil the Runnings with You giveaway. Yeah, it's going down tomorrow. I'll be picking a winner. So you guys can, I'll put a link for you guys. Just subscribe to the channel, whatever. And yeah, I got a cool video going up tomorrow on Nintendo, and I'm covering anime too, My Hero, stuff like that. So if you're into anime, gaming, live streams, check out the channel. And I appreciate the support, John. Seriously, like a lot of people come over from the Spawncast. So yo, that's awesome. So thank you guys. Thank you guys for the support, for real.
Victor says Silent Hill 2 and 3 are my perfect games of all time. Stead says, not mad. Sorry for the late reply. I'm just saying, you said Sucker Punch won't see the money for Ghost of Tsushima $10 upgrades, the first party studio. So whatever they want, Sony will provide any money amount. There you go. And Max, Dreamcast guy, where can everyone find you?
YouTube.com/Dreamcast guy. Got some fun stuff in the works. Most excited for definitely that Back 4 Blood beta. You guys know I love horror. Back 4 Blood beta is on the 5th, so I have a big video planned because I love Left 4 Dead, and it's the Left 4 Dead people doing a solo project. So watch out for that.
Very good. Very good. Let's go to Nate. Where can everyone find you?
It's that last super chat. Yeah, the extra $10 that they're charging for the Ghost of Tsushima director's cut isn't going to go to Sucker Punch. That's strictly a publisher fee. It's for Sony to inflate their wallet. It's not going to the developers at the studio. So, I mean, that's the truth. So if that's in relation to the Game Pass comment about Dirt 5, when Microsoft pays the publisher to get exclusive rights to the game for Game Pass, that's still not going to the developers. It's going to the publisher. So the individuals working on the game, they're not seeing any percentage of that money, and it's no different than what Sucker Punch and Sony charging an additional $10 for Ghost of Tsushima on the PlayStation 5 versus the PlayStation 4.
Right.
But yes, you can find me on YouTube at Nate the Hate. I'm sure MVG and myself will have an episode this week on some topic.
Okay, and then
we'll
Evan.
Find out.
Oh, okay. And then Evan, you want to let them know?
You can follow me on Twitter, Kimmerix Project. I usually stream Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I'm still working construction at this house, so I don't know if I'm able to stream this week at all. But yeah, you can just follow me there for any updates on things going on.
Okay. And that's going to do it here for the Spawncast tonight. Thanks, everyone, for coming out. We'll be back next Saturday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll see everyone then.
Think for yourself, question authority.